and welcome to Weekly Affirmations. I am so excited to join you on this Friday, and to kick us off, Joe, can you give us the theme song, please?
Oh, I said a Weekly Affirmations, a positive feel-good show. The most positive thing on this channel called Hyper Rapid Power Go. It's pretty decent.
That is pretty good. Welcome everyone again to Weekly Affirmations. It is the end of a very long week and we are glad to be here with you. So in Seattle right now it's a little cloudy, a little stormy, but I kind of like the storm clouds. It's a nice change up from the constant drizzle.
Here too.
Yeah,
so it's
humid.
nice.
Way too long.
Got a little frizz going on with the hair, but that's all right. So, welcome to Weekly Affirmations. If this is your first time showing up, hello. My name is Strix, and I am your host. I am a game designer, a gaming academic who writes really boring papers about games, and obviously a gamer myself who loves playing them. So, we always start off our show with 3 things that we like. If you want to hang out and chat and say 3 things that you like too, we would love to hear them. But for this week, I will have to say that I like the smell of sandalwood. I like frozen yogurt with mango boba in it, especially when it pops. And, what do I really like? I like storms. So today's great.
It's the latest Strix fact.
Uh-oh, already a Strix fact? Mm-hmm. Strix kind of like storm clouds.
Only kind of.
Wow.
So I have 3 lovely individuals here with me today that will be playing our game of the week, which is Monsterhearts, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves along with 3 things that they like. Head Power Go! So in case you don't know what's happening, I'm gonna let it talk and then I'm gonna explain.
Please shower Mitch Gittleman in lovely affirmations before you utterly slay his puny mech. Force, #set or #crap, #defa.
Yes, I got that. It's for Mitch. I'm gonna mute this pad really quickly here. Hang on, because that was
That was
very
awkward.
disconcerting. It was double voice time.
Nowhere to listen.
Okay.
Those little cat moments.
It's all
is
fine,
like,
everything's fine.
Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It's okay.
So here on Weekly Affirmations, we actually affirm you, and the way to get affirmed is to donate or to subscribe, and I will pull an affirmation from you directly from our affirmation matrix. They're great fun, and 4 AM Critter, I believe it was, just sent an affirmation over to Mitch, who is one of the stars of Death from Above. So, I hope you're ready for this, Mitch. Maybe someone should tweet it at him. Oh, Mitch. You're such a Mitch.
Oh yeah. Run
Mitch.
like 1, 2.
You are you ready for this? A maniacal, wandering pixie. Ta-da! That is your affirmation for this week.
It's true.
Beautiful affirmations, so true. So we love giving affirmations on this show, let me tell you. So keep them coming, and I will affirm you. I will affirm someone of your choice. You can affirm the guests or the show itself or Zach. Zach loves affirmations, let me tell you. So again, the way to do that is to donate or subscribe. So we were introducing people, and we're going to start with Liz.
Hi.
Liz, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Liz. I am a video game producer. And the 3 things that I like this week are dresses with pockets, which are amazing. The movie Xanadu, completely unironically, I just love it. Really, I really do. And the entire Purple Rain soundtrack.
Yes.
Every last song on it.
Yes. God, I love Prince.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Steph. I am a artist. Yeah, I just draw stuff. I draw things. Lots of monsters. 3 things I like. I like crows. I think they're hilarious. I want my own army of little terrorist crows. Oh my God, it's gonna happen.
A murder of crows.
Yeah. I like the sound of the rain. 3 things. And I really like your feet. Eating
I would like to officially welcome our newest member of Shios with an affirmation. Welcome Zach to #Shios, advancing your life and happiness.
So we have a affirmation for Zach from Shiawasa. If you are following along at home, there is another show on this channel called Corpse Sends, and they play a metagame where they basically battle each other for supremacy. Shiawase is one of these guys. So we're all sort of in like different camps. I would say that I'm supporting as technology. Shiawase is another popular one. So, you know, if you guys want to battle it out on my show, that's totally fine. But Zach, I have the perfect affirmation for you, so I hope you're ready because you are a melodic, behaving fox. Wish it was in here so I could give that to him. A melodic, behaving fox.
And Damoon, yes, it is Hebrew. It is Hebrew for truth.
And you notice Zach like is around all the time, except for when we're doing affirmations, and then suddenly he can't be found. Vanishes. He just vanishes in thin air. It's amazing, amazing sorcery. All right, thanks so much for your introduction, Steph. And then finally we have Miss Scarlett.
Hi y'all, I'm Scarlett Rose. I'm a partnered Twitch TV broadcaster and the social event coordinator for the Bill Guild. And I like butt touches, cats, and I also want to have a band of murderous crows. Fun fact about me, I actually looked up how to befriend crows yesterday. You feed them like 2 hours. Feed them unsalted peanuts, and then they'll bring you shiny stuff.
I give them dog food just because the nutritional balance of that is actually good for them and what they're looking for. Is that when they start nesting, you want to start giving them cat food because protein for babies. It's perfect.
Profacts.
You learn so much interesting stuff on this show.
I have questions about this. So
Because I have a friend who used to be a falconer, or is a falconer. You never are an ex-falconer.
okay, so my question is, how do you go find a crow?
Hang out with them, just feed them.
Well, where are they? Like,
Well, there's a couple crows that hang out in the park near my house. And I'm probably just gonna start throwing.
And then around.
There's the most huge.
looks like future Emily for small.
Can I please get an affirmation for small free 417?
So it's actually small fry, but yes, we can totally get an affirmation for small fry. That's totally awesome of you. Ooh, yes. Small fry, you ready for this? You are a magnificent, appreciating goose. It's so wonderful.
Throwing glitter. Oh, that'd be great for everybody that comes after.
This
us.
isn't glitter, this is an affirmation. There's a bucket, just have it labeled affirmation.
What an appreciating goose sounds like.
I know.
So we also have sort of a quasi-tradition on this show where we make ridiculous animal sounds, because why not? It's the beginning of the weekend. So I'll get us started off because I'm brave, but I feel like it's coming for you. I feel like an appreciating goose would be something like hurrah, hurrah.
It sounds extremely appreciative.
I think it's very appreciative. So there you go. That is an appreciating goose. You can add that to the soundboard.
It's like one of those long, like, very woody, drawn up. Just like kind of walks and like looks around.
Very nice.
Yep, just okay. Enough of that. No more geese. Yes, a magnificent, appreciating goose. So another thing that you will probably see in chat that you might be confused about is Strix facts. I didn't make that up. Someone else did. But Strix facts are facts about me that are totally, absolutely true, and they're amazing, and we will read them out loud when we see them, and they're funny, or awesome, or weird. So, Strix facts, that's apparently a thing. There's a Twitter handle. Again, I didn't make it. I have my own Twitter handle. But it's kind of fun. I mean, they get pretty creative. So, and the funny thing is, like, half of it is maybe true, and the other half isn't true.
See how modest she is.
Ooh. It's from a fifth grade.
Hashtag Weekly Affirmations hype. Can I please get an affirmation for Anna and the Geek Fleet?
Yes.
Anna!
Anna and the Geek Fleet.
Anna!
And it's funny that this came from a fifth reel. You'll see why in a second. What do you think you missed?
Come
Come
get
here.
affirmed!
It was Nizul at fifth reel.
Oh, it was the darling.
This is the darling of fifth reel.
So, who does all of the wonderful fan
All
art
the
and may or may
Amazing
not,
fan art.
may or may not be related to you.
May or may not be related to me. We're not sure. We're trying to figure it out.
I have to stop wearing heels around you. She's actually taller than I am.
5'8". I'm 5'8".
She's an inch taller than me. Alright.
Okay, so this is for you and the Geek Fleet, so I hope you're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Because you are a faithful, daring Ifrit, which actually shares the root with the word Ifrit. They're both types of competition. up.
Fiery.
That's pretty awesome.
Faithful,
Fiery,
if nothing
fiery.
else,
And daring.
faithful is definitely descriptive of the fleet.
So you are affirmed, madame.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thanks to the Geek Fleet in the Fifth World.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Destroy your enemies.
No.
See them weep.
She's still working out her feelings from the last game she played with me, which was the Warren, in which she started out as a very cute bunny and became Darth Bunny. So you never know how it's gonna end up.
What happens when you burn
Hyper
your
Power Go! Oh, flagger.
I mean, and what else would happen? Your bunnies.
More allies on this show. Lovely. All power to the Corvids, our liberators. Oh, and it is just Corpin to you, Strix. #set or --crup.
All right, that sounds great. So in case you're not aware, Corpin is a big fan of ravens and crows. Also, we have that in common because my last name actually means bright raven.
Oh,
So
cool.
we have like a secret cabal going on. Well, I guess not that secret because I just told the whole internet. But ravens are awesome. So, Corpin, this one is for you. Oh boy. Okay, are you ready? Okay, I'm ready. You are a glamorous, befriending sprite. This one's for you. Glamorous, befriending sprite. So it's like a really attractive
Speaking
sprite.
of Corvids, yeah.
Yeah, check it out.
Nice.
A little bit crow.
We can just call ourselves like the Crow Illuminati.
Yeah.
Crow
I'm
Illuminati.
down.
Illuminate crows.
Strix fact. All Strix are actually crows.
The guys of an owls. It's the clever guys.
All right, so a couple of things about today. As you have observed, you can participate with us in chat, telling us what's up, saying hi, using the hashtag for StrixFacts, and also donating or subscribing. However, also, throughout the show, on Twitter, you can use the hashtag GameFeels with a Z. Can we all do the Z? Yes.
See the other way.
So the hashtag GameFeels, tweet it and affirm someone that you like, affirm yourself, affirm us, affirm anything and everything, be positive. Halfway through the show, we'll take a break and we will read out your GameFeels live on air. And we'll also do a little bit more of them at the very end of the show. So you don't have to give us money, you can still interact. If you use the hashtag GameFeels with a Z, we will reach out to you at the middle of the show and we'll see what you guys have going on for the beginning of the weekend.
Cthulhu Hoopster, I still saw your compliment and I did take it.
Oh.
Keep it close. It's okay. I appreciate it.
Yes, ravens are awesome and they are super smart. They can solve puzzles and they can have friendships.
Recognize
and when
faces.
They do recognize faces.
when another crow dies, they want to figure out what happened. So
Makes me even more suspicious for all of the crows and ravens that descend upon the apartment building that I live in every year. Like, what are they planning? I don't know.
you're probably on a ley line.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's totally it.
That would be the source of my power.
Well, now I can take it away from you. All right, so this week on Weekly Affirmations and for the next 2 weeks to come, we are playing an amazing story game called Monsterhearts. And if in chat our moderators want to link the Monsterheart website, that would be a good time to do so. So Monsterhearts is written by Avery McDonald, and it is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, which you should be familiar with because The Warren was also a Powered by Apocalypse game. Now, Apocalypse World is a totally separate game. It was written by Vincent Baker, and there are many other games that are hacks of the original Apocalypse World, which means they took sort of the core skeleton rules and they applied them to their own games. So there can be two games that are both powered by the apocalypse and be way different. And the reason why people make games that are powered by the apocalypse is because it's a really easy rule set to use and it lends itself to a variety of different play styles and different environments, and it's just really adaptable. So that's why, especially on this show where we focus on narrative games that are freeform or indie, we're gonna come across a lot of powered by the apocalypse stuff. There are other games, obviously, that are not. We've played Dread, we've played Our Radios Are Dying, which made everybody cry, and so we're gonna get a good mix in here, but we'll occasionally see powered by the apocalypse games. Strix facts. Strix is also powered by the apocalypse.
Well, she's gonna be okay.
So Monsterhearts is a game about teenagers in high school who have emotions and hormones, and they're also monsters.
So unlike normal teenagers.
They're just normal teenagers amped up to like a bazillion.
Magnified.
So, Monsterhearts is definitely one of those games about feelings, because that's what we like on this show, is the game feels. Good feelings, bad feelings, mixes of feelings, up, down, high, low. We're gonna get it all in Monsterhearts. Now, I know that we've had brief discussions on safety before, but because, Bob the Goldfish says he did not cry, apparently he has a cold, dead heart. That's okay, this means we need to bring it harder this time. It's coming for you.
Oh my God.
That was the first layer. Just didn't feel it.
We're coming for your feelings. So one of the things that I would like to introduce for this game, and we really should have been doing for all of our games, but is something called the X card, which is why we have this little X on the table here. Now the X card was invented by actually one of my very good friends, John Stavropoulos, and the X card is basically a safety mechanism that you use during play. So let's say that you really don't like spiders. It's not fun for you if there's spiders in the game. And I, as the GM or someone else in the game says, and then a giant spider pops out of the closet. You're just gonna go, I'm X-carding that. And then the GM says, great, a giant rabbit pops out of the closet, right? So the X card is a way to control what you do and don't want in the game. So if we hit on any sort of nerves or things that we don't want to talk about, we want to hit the X card. We want to hit the X card often, and we want to do it with a lot of support from everyone else. So I might X card myself, you can X card yourself. I've actually done this before where I was like, and you're a horrible bitch. I mean, you're really terrible, because I realized I did not want to use the word bitch. Which, as you guys will find out as we play more together, I really don't like that word. So I will probably X card that anytime it comes up. Whether I say it or someone else says it. 'Cause sometimes it just pops out and then I'm like, nah, that wasn't great. But it can be for other things too, like sexual content or things that can be triggering. So definitely, I'm gonna try to use the X card early on somebody. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And I hope that you will use the X card on each other and on me as well. So really for every game that I play in real life, because I play games a lot, my groups always use the X card. And if you go online and you search out the X card, there's a whole bunch of documentation on what it's about, how it can be used, but it's really just simple. There's a card with an X on it, and if you don't like what's going on for any reason, whether it's thematic or whether it's just too heavy or whatever, you just tap the X card, and then we move on. So does that sound like everything that we can agree to, or is there any questions there?
It was basically a safe word.
Yeah, it's kind of like a safe word, I guess.
I like that.
Okay. Is there any questions from chat about the X card? You should X card someone constantly to see how creative they can get. That might be a misuse of the X card, but every once in a while I might throw that in there. Just be like, nope, try again. Nope, try again.
Troll.
And it's not specifically retconning, if you're familiar with the word retcon, meaning taking something back that happened and pretending that it didn't happen. It's just basically steering the narration in ways that we find useful for good storytelling. Because we don't want to make anyone upset, and we don't want to make anyone feel bad. We want everyone to enjoy the game that they're playing. And if they don't, then what's the point, right? So we're always here to have fun first, and to have great feels second. So those are my priorities.
That's a good question. How
What's
do you
that?
stop people from X-carding moves that hurt their character?
So X-carding is not for moves specifically, it's for thematic content. Meaning if there is like a way that you are talking or thing that you are doing, you X-card that. If it happens to involve a move, like I'm going to violently hold you down and then take your clothes off, and you're like, nah, no, I don't want to do that. That's totally fine. And so, sure, the move is involved with that, but it's not for moves, it's for thematic content. If there is a player abusing the X card so that they don't get punished through moves, we're gonna have a conversation. And I'm gonna pull that player aside, I'm gonna be like, hey, that is not what the X card is for. Please, straighten up and fly right. Here's how I expect you to use it. If you can't, maybe you should find a different gaming group, and just be really firm about it. Because if the X card doesn't work, if people can't trust it, then there's no point in having it. I'm 18 and I'm not a monster, but you're cool. LOL, I'm just messing. Cool, I have an 18-year-old in here. You're probably one of the youngest people in my chat channel. Welcome. Actually, my audience is a little bit older than normal for Twitch, so I think it's kind of cool. Because then we all get to be of the same age. because I am no spring chicken. So question, doesn't using the X card as you encourage to just X card someone devalue the use of the card in the long run? No, because the reason why I encourage it so heavily is because I've been doing this a long time and I've seen it a lot. And people are very, very hesitant to use the X card because they feel like they are punishing each other. So it's good to set the expectation that it's an acceptable behavior and to push it heavily in the beginning so people get used to it. And then it will probably only rarely come up. But if it is never used and then something really bad happens, I've had this happen to me before physically where I was like, I want to X card that thing, but everyone else at the table thinks it's fine and I've never seen anyone here use the X card. I don't feel comfortable using it.
So kind of breaking the ice on
Breaking the ice. And so I should have used the X card. I did not feel socially empowered to do so. I felt pressured not to do so.
Can we get a cheerful affirmation for CMD Shepherd Sir 2, aka Shep Set or Dash Krupp?
All right, so an affirmation for Commander Shepard today. I think that was from 4 AM Critter.
Yes.
Yes, it was. Ooh, you're gonna like this one, Commander Shepard, because you are a powerful, clarifying Kraken.
Kraken with no residue buildup.
So Liz.
No!
What is a powerful, clarifying Kraken sound like exactly?
Krakens are really big, but they have, I don't know what that kind of sound like an octopus would make, and they're kind of like giant octopus, right? I'm stalling now. And they have like beaks, which makes me think of like a bird. So maybe like
I think that's excellent. That is an excellent Kraken sound.
Perfect Kraken.
I'd like to take a Kraken at it.
Thank you.
I think that deserves some hype. We're just getting all that hype.
Ow.
I appreciate all of your sharks.
I guess that's as close as they could get to a Kraken.
It's true. Well, another mighty oceanic beast.
Yes.
Yes.
Mighty
As long as they're
oceanic beasts.
8 plus appendages, so I do
Kraken.
count them.
I'll take a crack at it.
Okay, so back to the X card and why I push us to use it early on. It's so that it becomes a normalized behavior and it does not feel pressure to not use it when we need it. That example that I used was a real life example that happened to me. I did not use the X card. I spent the rest of the game feeling really bad and unhappy. And so I learned my lesson there. And when I run games now, I'm like, use the X card, get used to it. All right, we're cool. And because when it really puts the pedal to the metal and someone really is not okay with something, then I know that they're much more likely to use it.
There was an experience for me, like recently on the DFA, that was like it was okay for me. It was kind of an experience to go through, but we went through an action where we decided to drug an NPC in order to get information and follow. So for me personally, like that was the moment where I wish I had this, and in character I was able to change it. Not exactly change it, but we wound up finding a way to track him regardless and didn't need it in the end. And that's kind of something where this would have been really, it would have come in handy, where it could have been like, no, like, it's not necessarily a trauma for me, but it was a moment where a wave of something really uncomfortable hit me. And I think that's kind of where I think someone asked, how do you not abuse it? It's like, you'll know. You will know when you need to do it. You will know when you start using it. Like, when it's available to you, you will know the moment where it's uncomfortable, for sure. It's not necessarily a trauma or a trigger necessarily, but you will feel that wave for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm okay.
Yeah, it's that feeling where you're like,
Not okay with this. It's just that, like, not okay. Yeah,
and
not
you're
sure.
feeling that feeling, use the
Yeah,
X card.
exactly.
So hopefully now that y'all know what the X card's all about, maybe you incorporated it into your tabletops of all sorts. Nice tool to use.
Yeah, actually this can go for any tabletop game, whether it's traditional, whether it's indie, whether it's freeform. I've used it with Pathfinder to great effect.
It's a great thing of self-discovery too. It's not just for other people being like, not just like you need to be coddled. That's not what it means at all. Yeah, it's like it's a thing where you get to actually kind of discover something about yourself. Like, I realize that's not okay.
Yes.
It's okay to know your limits and your
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's
keep
also
the vibe up, even when you're, murdering bunnies and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, you can totally do murder and awful
Yeah.
things. As you've seen on the show, we've died so many times.
And we did subterfuge anyway, but in a way that was still like very, very, very helpful.
But in a way that is safe for us to do, right? Safety is always numero uno. And to that effect, Avery McDonald came up with her own handout for safety. It's called Safe Hearts. And Safe Hearts is available as a free PDF on her website, along with all of the character sheets. And she wrote this because a lot of people were playing Monsterhearts, and it was great. Monsterhearts is actually a very popular game. You can actually find it in most gaming stores, even though it is an indie title. But people were having like deep feels. And sometimes it was going all right, and sometimes it would get a little off the tracks because there wasn't a lot of guidance about how to do it. Hyper Rapid Power, go! Uh-oh.
Could we get an affirmation for all of hashtag Shiawas, please? Shiawas is happiness.
Yeah, so this, oh yes. Shiawasa gets an entire blanket affirmation for the whole group. That is so awesome. Okay, Shiawasa, are you ready for this? Okay, you are delightful, capering unicorns. That's right, delightful, capering unicorns.
Lovely.
So Stephanie,
Very well. What is a capering unicorn
what?
sound like?
You read my mind. It's like you're psychic. What does a capering unicorn sound like?
What is capering exactly?
Well, capering is when you're like kind of
Charming?
bouncing, dancing.
Frolicking?
Yeah.
Frolicking.
It's like
unicorn?
Yeah.
It'd be a chortle, a half chortle, like like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Lovely.
That's it.
Okay.
Lovely.
So
The
all
trot
Shiawasa-
down too. The trot down too. It has to be the side to side. This is delightful.
So all of
Joyous.
Shiawasa, you are capering unicorns, and you go Oh, X card the unicorns.
No.
Too late. The unicorns happen.
It's too late.
Okay. And then Skybrain83 says, or you can have a fairly open communication allowing anyone to say, that's not okay with me. We can find another way around that. Yes, you can have open communication. However, sometimes in the middle of the game, it's hard. So it's good to have a mechanic. And also if you're playing in mixed groups, maybe some people you know and some people you don't, this gives everyone a clear line of communication and process in order to say, hey, not this, right? So,
It's quick, it's easy, it keeps the flow moving.
yeah, because we don't want to
You can also like when that feeling happens, like no, and then like talk about it later because that's always a good
If
thing.
you want
Come
to.
back later and talk about it if you want to.
Yeah, and if it's super
Or internalize
serious,
it, yeah.
you stop the game and you go off to the side and you talk about it. And maybe you come back and you start playing again, and maybe you don't. You're done. It's a game. At the end of the day, there are so many more important things about your health and your relationships with other people that if a game doesn't work out and it crashes and burns, fine, walk away from it, do something else.
Heat wave in Washington. I tried to wear less black. That didn't happen.
I think you
I
only
tried.
own black.
I do.
Yeah.
My closet is a portal of darkness.
Well, it's actually pretty funny.
That
'cause
sounds exciting.
we have standing
blackness.
AC units,
Mm-hmm.
and
Lord.
the one in our living room likes to trip the breaker after 30 minutes. So I would sit in front of it, be cool, and then the breaker would trip, so then I'd run out to the garage, fix it, and then run back in front of the AC for another 30 minutes. I was so desperate.
Oh man.
And then that breeze after like the long like stagnant is just godsend. It's like yes, thank you. This is goodness.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna start to get a little hot in here in Seattle. This is my first spring here, so we'll see how it goes. I'm used to SoCal weather, so
Oh, you'll be fine.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah,
stay
no,
in
you'll be
Arizona.
fine. You'll love
We
it.
will
we
all
get a
die,
second
but-
wind with our summers right before the fall. That's really nice. So
Okay,
it's always
that's good
very
to know.
joyous.
No,
It's
I
really
know.
nice.
I'm
It'll
from
be fun.
Phoenix where we have no weather and winter is still warm.
Winter is nice though. They have a really
Don't
nice
like winter. Not a fan of winter.
Like we get a good monsoon season then.
Yeah. Oh, I love the month.
A first girl says, I appreciate that you talk about these kinds of things. Yes, me too. Improv and yes and can have a lot of pressure to do uncomfortable things. Yes. So in case you're unfamiliar, the concept of yes and is an improvisational theater thing. It's also a LARP thing and a tabletop thing. But basically it says you accept whatever it is the person is doing and you build on it. As a general principle, we embrace this here on my show and at the rest of Hyper RPG. Hyper CKJS.
An affirmation please for Random Tuesday, GM of the excellent Shadowrun show on Hyper RPG.
So should
We
treat this to Lauren.
hashtag less than 3 you Lauren at hash set or dash Krupp, the corporation that is always a step ahead.
Obsessive of Lauren, right? All right. So this affirmation,
I like this one.
yeah. So this one is for Lauren. She's not here right now, but I'm sure someone will tweet her what her affirmation is. So Lauren, I hope you're ready for this because you are a fancy, admiring bunny. Fancy and admiring. I think that's actually pretty
accurate.
Pretty accurate. for
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yes and is great. We definitely embrace it. However, this is sort of a counter to yes and that makes sure that nothing super, super weird and uncomfortable happens. And we don't want to force play because force play is bad. That's not playing anymore. That's coercion. And coercion is bad. So that's our little talk on the X card. And the more you know about games, the more fun you have. So Avery wrote an addition to Monsterhearts. It's called Safe Hearts, and it's basically an introduction on what to do to take care of yourself when you're playing Monsterhearts, because it's a deeply feels game. We talked a little bit about what we can do during our last game. Our radios are dying to deal with emotions after the game. And I'm not going to read this out loud, but I will tell you that it exists, and I'll sort of summarize it for you. But basically, the gist is we are all responsible, right, for treating each other with respect and for understanding boundaries, right? We all have boundaries, and those boundaries are important, one, to establish, and two, to keep enforced. So if someone says, I don't like the word bitch, you don't say, oops, I said it again, oops, I said it again, oops, I said it again. You say, okay, it might slip out once by accident, but then we're done. So you need to know what your boundaries are in order to observe them, right? So if I really don't like being touched, for instance, like I don't like people doing this, I need to tell them first because they might just be like, hey, what's going on? And you'd be like, ugh. But if they don't know, right, then they can't observe your boundaries. So communicating about boundaries, forcing boundaries, and respecting them. And then finally, recovery. So it's always important after a game like Monsterhearts or Our Radios Are Dying or anywhere where you get really into like the headspace of a character, that you take the time afterwards to break back out of that headspace again. And that may be doing something like really simple, like talking to someone who says your name, right? Liz, instead of your character's name, which is whatever. And just getting back into who you are so that you can separate out the feelings of your character from the feelings of yourself. Because if you start mixing those up, it can get kind of weird, right? And it's not very fun. So I have many stories about that. It's called bleed, by the way. There's an actual academic term for this, so it's totally legit. It's called bleed. And bleed can get complicated. Sometimes, you know, people like bleed and it can be good. Other times it's just not really appropriate to continue to carry some things on after a game. Especially in games like this where there's a lot of sexuality and a lot of crushes and emotions. Like, we want to make sure that it's all clear and set after the game, that we're all good. So we will definitely be doing a check-in at the end of today. Sound good? Okay. So that's that. I would encourage you to go read it. It's a resource for you. Someone went out of their way to be helpful. So that is that. Now, Monsterhearts itself, yes, bleed is real. Bleed is very real. So Monsterhearts itself is a game that is, again, powered by the apocalypse, and we always start with character creation. Now, there are character sheets in this game. They're called skins. Skins is the nomenclature for this particular game. And there are a variety of skins to choose from. These are all the skins that we didn't choose today. So we have the Chosen, the Vampire, the Queen, the Mortal, oh, poor Mortal, the Infernal, and the Ghoul, and the Ghost. And I think there's just one more, the Serpentine, which was an extra one that came out later. But they're also all available for free download on Avery's website. So we kind of cheated a little bit, and we let you guys select your skins before we started. We're gonna work on actual character creation, but first kind of let everyone know what you picked. So, Scarlett, what did you pick?
I picked the witch.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. Stephanie?
I picked the werewolf.
Ooh. And?
I picked the Fae. There you go.
Wonderful. And of course, I am your GM for today. Full disclosure, I've never actually run Monsterhearts before, so this should be fun. We're all learning together.
Yay!
Everything's fine.
But again, it's powered by the apocalypse, so how hard can it be?
Adventure.
It's gonna be fine. It's fine. The apocalypse is fine.
Everything is fine. Oh, what's that? What is that?
Game feels.
What is that? I can't see.
It's not working.
What is it?
It says
Yet. I'm sorry.
feel.
Prop it up against that.
Bye.
We tried.
Bye.
Oh, we're getting peanut butter is back up.
Peanut butter.
You guys.
That is a big ass jar peanut butter.
Oh, is it half gone already?
What is on that plaque?
Game feels.
Oh, game feels. Yes, thank you. With a Z.
Hashtag.
Always with a Z. Hashtag game feels.
But I don't want it to.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Top.
That kind of
Kind
works.
of works. Okay.
Your accent.
Okay, well they can just see us
Whoa.
reach for the extra.
They know it's there.
Okay. Strix facts. Strix uses Pandora's box to hold her Garbage Pail Kids collection.
I remember Garbage Pail Kids.
I
I used to collect those cards.
do. Yeah. Strix facts. Strix loves to explain stuff. She's actually the goddess of exposition. I think that's a nice way of saying I yak a lot. Thanks. Thanks, Twigs and Guns. I appreciate it.
Nice.
All right, so shall we get started with character creation?
Yes.
Okay.
We do.
Stuff.
Excite. Get hype, Kara Jen.
So the first thing you're gonna do is choose your skin, which you've already done. So we have the Fae, the Werewolf, and the Witch. Excellent. The next thing you're gonna do is choose your name, look, and origin. So on these character sheets are basically clusters of things to choose from in name, look, and origin. You can actually choose whatever name you want, but we have suggested names, so you can circle one. But for look and origin, you do have to pick from the sheet. So circle what you got, and we're gonna go over this in a second. So we're gonna hear about your characters and their backstories, what they're like. So hold on to that for a hot minute. Okay, so you've got your skin, you got your look, and you got your origin. Perfect. Okay, the next thing is stats. So in this game, you get to assign your own stats, kind of like you did in the Warren, if you're familiar with it, Liz is. And there are actually 4 stats in this game. So there is hot, cold, volatile, and dark. I'm already really liking this game. So hot means, ooh, you are freaking gorgeous, alluring, exciting, smoking, someone you can't stop thinking about, magnetic. So this is sort of your like bestial, carnal draw on other people. Cold means stone cold, calculating, collected, unwavering, frigid, able to be cruel and merciless, able to keep your wits about you, and be obstinate. So that's your cold stat. So think about it as being like, get what I want.
Shut down.
Shut it down. Volatile means impulsive, wild, feral, quick-tempered, quick to fight or flight, aggressive, unpredictable, and a basket case. I didn't make that up, that's in there. So that's volatile. And then dark, which is probably my favorite stat. So dark means weird, mysterious, sinister, dabbling in the occult, comfortable in darkness. Power go!
Our employees have outdone themselves this week. They deserve an affirmation. Hashtag Renraku.
That was from Renraku HR, the scariest HR in the world. Oh boy. So I have an affirmation then for all of Renraku, because you are awesome folks. And yes, I hope you're ready for this, because you are elegant, encouraging kelpies. So I just imagine like people with like seal skins hanging half off going, yes, come into the water. Yes, we encourage
Like the
you.
softest skins.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's not, it's fine. I did just say dark is my favorite side. Speaking of darkness, darkness also means being able to liaise with otherworldly forces and powers. So good to keep in mind.
Okay.
Okay, so when creating your characters, it should show that you have a certain set of stats. Hot, cold, volatile, and dark. It's usually 1, -1, 0, 1. And you're going to add a +1 to any one of these stats. and it's going to depend on your character sheet. So take a look at your stats.
Okay.
Choose which one you're going to add a +1 to, and then write them all down in those boxes that you see right there.
So we just add a +1 to 1, and then.
So here are your stats. Hot is 1, your cold is -1, your volatile is -1, and your dark is 1. So they'll all read that, except for whichever one you add 1 to.
The one you add 1 to. Got it.
Ooh, your volatile is really low.
No. I feel like it should be higher.
Well, I don't know. Are you going to play a volatile character?
And then so we just put the full totals in these boxes.
Yes, you'll
right?
put the full totals in the box with the adjustment of wherever you decide to put that +1. So I actually want to take a look at this because this helps me screw with you guys. I mean, tell
Have
interesting
some
stories.
fun.
Have great fun.
So we all start with 1 and then it just minuses.
So yours
my cold
is a
Cthulhu
-1.
Hoopster.
A 1 and then
Always
-1 and a
+1
1.
volatile. Always.
-1?
Unless you want to add your +1 to hot. And then it would be 0. Do you see what I mean?
No, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, so let's go through this. So your hot right now is a -1.
Okay.
Your cold is a 1. Your volatile is a -1. And your dark is a 1.
I know, right? That was
So
great.
choose one stat that you want to up by 1 point.
Let me think about my character.
Like, I think Natalia got a 14 on that Kelpie story. It was so great. Ugh.
Hey, if
I'll
you
take the
wanna make
-1.
Okay,
I'm just
no.
going, I'm gonna go off the
If
deep
you want
end.
to make your dark a 2, that is fantastic. Okay, so your dark is a 2 and everything else is the same.
We're gonna get weird in here.
That's what we
fine.
like. We
That's
like
fine.
weird.
We bring the weird.
Okay, so you've got your stats, and now you're going to pick a move. So you should have a move that you just get, right? And it's the one usually at the top. And then depending on what it says on your character sheet, you're gonna pick an additional move.
Oh, I could choose 2 because I don't have a mandatory move. That's cool.
It does say choose 2, so you get to do two of your own. So this is unique to each skin, how the moves are chosen. So sometimes you'll just be assigned one and get to pick a different one. Sometimes you can choose 2, but they're all specific to their own character sheet.
Yes, Mondor, I will bust a move at any given time.
This is high school.
You give me 2 seconds.
I think we decided this is what, high school circa 2002? So Backstreet Boys? Britney Spears?
I was in college in 2002.
Oh, did I just date myself?
Ah, no!
Whoops! I mean, I'm ageless.
It's true.
I'm always the same age
Death.
through every eon. Hey, whose phone is that? Scarlet.
Dun, dun, dun! Some more.
Okay, so if you have some moves that you've picked already, I'd love to hear what they are.
I chose Uncontainable. When you attempt to escape any form of physical entrapment, roll with Volatile. On a 10 up, you escape. On a 7 to 9, the MC will offer you a hard bargain. Agree if you want to escape. The other one is Bury Your Fangs. While you are your darkest self, you may use Volatile instead of Cold to shut someone down or hold steady.
Okay. That sounds scary.
Oh, yeah.
And how's the picking going for you, Liz and Scarlet? You all set?
Yes. I'm just picking hexes. I can't decide between Wither or Ring of Lies.
Hi there, hairbrained AJ.
Strix fact. Strix is the creator of all teenage culture forever. Yes, that is right.
So I am going with Lure, which is whenever someone makes a promise to you, they mark experience. Whenever someone breaks a promise to you and you seek vengeance, mark experience.
Ooh, boy,
Ooh,
vengeance. I like it already.
I did take that extra point of volatile.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, looks like you are set with your hexes, Liz?
Yes.
I mean, Scarlet.
I picked for my move Sanctuary. I have a secret place for practicing witchcraft. I add 1 to all my rolls when in this space. And my hexes are Wither. The person loses all of their hair, or their teeth start rotting and falling out, or their period comes and it comes by the bucketful, or their skin gets all sickly sickly yellow and spotty. Whatever the specifics. Whatever the specifics, it's bad.
I like how none of us really had a good
were just
reaction
like, okay,
until
whatever,
that
period,
one.
no.
And then every woman
Pretty
here
sure it was a
like,
lot stronger because we're like, no, don't want that again.
Well, we are talking about high school.
Yeah, it's true.
Uh-oh. The game feels is gonna eat it.
Okay.
Peanut butter, support it. Yep.
Don't
Effort.
eat it.
Oh god.
Oh no! We need tape in here. We need super glue. Strix facts.
I get another hex
from the Library of Alexandria.
It's true. Oh,
I get 2 hexes, and I pick my second one as illusions. I get to pick one: snakes and bugs, demonic visages, false prophecies, non-existent subtext. The hexed sees that thing everywhere. You have no control over the exact images or manifestation.
Oh, I need to write that down. So you're basically the chick from The Craft.
Ooh, yeah. I've
Veruza
think
Balk.
about that. Oh my god.
Yes.
You want to talk about high school, man?
Wow, I loved that movie. I loved that movie. That's gonna be next week's thing.
I was
I
like
love.
really young. I remember me and my friends decided to like summon the guy from the beach one day. I was like, yeah, we could totally do witchcraft.
My gifts.
I know.
No, the Strix facts, but it's okay. She was a librarian at the library.
These
Strix facts. Strix is indeed timeless. She chooses to experience the high school college equivalent every 50 years or so.
That's true.
Oh my god, are you saying I'm Edward Cullen? Are you really saying I'm Edward Cullen?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
You brought it now, dark soul.
No, high school is the worst place, and I only need to experience once, ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Those reunions are like the strangest things to me. I'm like, why do you go back?
So before we jump into the next part, which is telling our backstories, and just to frame this, you're going to spend like a minute talking about who you are, where you're from, what your background is, and really some nice details that are going to flesh out your character. I think it would be great, actually, first, I didn't know I was going to put you on the spot, but I am now, to tell me about your actual high school experiences and how that was for you. And I can start, so it's not anyone else. But my high school experience was not super great. I was a varsity athlete in 2 sports, and I was a 4.0 straight A student, and you would think that that means that I was like some sort of jock superstar or something. This is not true. I had a really rough time. I was bullied quite a lot, and I mostly kept to myself and read books and played RPGs online in like mushes and muds, because yes, I was that level of nerd. And so I was really, really fortunate that I scored well on some standardized tests, got scholarships to college, and then left, and then never went back. I did not go to my 10-year reunion, so sorry guys, but I had other things to do. And so for me, high school, I like dated, but I didn't really like get into it. Like I didn't really like get really into what dating meant until university. And so I kind of dated people because they were like, hey, you want to go out? And I was like, okay, I guess. But it wasn't like, man, I really
like, oh.
I really like this boy or this girl and I want to do something. I don't know. It wasn't on my radar until I was older. So I really didn't have the high school experience until I was like in college. So that was me. So everyone does have different high school experiences. Some people go to private schools, some people go to one gender only schools. I went to a Catholic school for a hot minute. That did not work out.
Oh.
So I would like to hear more from you and your guys' experiences.
Steph fact is true, all of it. I do hide in bushes. I do have boiling hot coffee sometimes, and I am sketching people all the time on the bus and everything. It's true. I will verify. I have affirmed that it's true.
I want to see you hiding in
Is
bushes.
confirmed.
Strix facts, we cannot confirm or deny that Strix sparkles in direct sunlight. Strix sparkles in most light. Aww. I like how you guys went, aw, and I was like,
Someone should get that. Aww.
So Scarlett, how was it for you?
Well, it's a little complicated because I got bullied pretty hard in junior high, and that ended up carrying over to freshman year because I ended up getting bullying so bad that they almost held me back in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But they gave me a pass, so I got to go to 9th grade, which is freshman year. And I came in like halfway through the semester, and I had to do a special program to get caught up. And when I did, I spent my sophomore year like getting high off campus because it was an open campus for lunch, so we would just go across the way and just smoke all day. And then junior year was pretty great, and then I ended up falling with a bad crowd and ended up running away and got into all of that lifestyle that you don't want to get into. But I wouldn't change that because it made me a better person and it made me stronger. And I don't know, like, in July 1st, I'll be 5 years free from drugs officially, so.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, seriously, for sharing that. You did not have to share, and so thanks. I really appreciate it.
I try to, my channel's all about representation of like people who have been through that, and I try to be like open about it because it removes the stigma.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
really cool. Thank you so much. Well, besides hiding in bushes, what did you get up to?
I was kind of a very quiet nerd, still am. I read a ton. I wasn't really popular. All I did concentrated on was getting 4.0s in high school, getting up to college, because that's all my family ever talked about. So because of that, I didn't really develop like a good idea of who I was until like almost after college, because college was kind of that moment where I got to, figure out what dating was. And I didn't even really do that until like my 20s anyway, and then like figuring out what I actually really liked and what I really wanted to do didn't really happen until I hit college. It was like I was pretty much studying to be an engineer, and then right when college apps happened, I was like at all these really great scores, I was like, I'm gonna be an art major, and then my dad pretty much stopped supporting me. So that was a really great turnaround. I don't know, I don't ever feel that life got to a really rock bottom, but I did have to grow and fight a lot to figure out who I am, and like keep fighting that all the time, because I realized a lot of what was stifling me was kind of like that society ideal of like who you should be, what people think about you. That is so hard. And like it's one thing to decide to stop doing it, but you have to decide every single moment of your life to fight what you like were raised to do, and that's kind of something that's really cool and hard and terrifying at the same time. That was me. Yeah, that's me, and it still is.
Yeah.
It still is.
Awesome.
You still fight. Yeah.
Still figuring it out.
Yeah, always. And it's fine. And that's the thing. It's okay. Like, I thought you were supposed to have everything figured out when you're 20. That's a lie.
Oh my god, it's such a
Such a
lie.
freaking lie.
That 18-year-old who's in the chat right now, anybody who tells you you're supposed to have your life figured out by like your 20s, 30s, no.
Don't listen to them.
It's a lie.
You spend your whole life trying to become the best version of yourself.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm 28
Yes.
and I'm just now following my dreams.
Yeah, same. That's hard. It's
Just
so hard.
now.
But it's worth it. It's so worth it. It's
It is.
scary, but it's worth it. That was my high school and life. There you go. Nice story. Sharing good feels.
So I actually homeschooled from 6th grade on through the end of high school.
It's hardcore.
So
Yeah.
I was living in kind of a sketchy area with not a great high school, and fortunately, I was in a privileged enough position to be able to have my mother homeschool me and my younger sister. So I didn't really have the high school experience. I was also mudding and mushing through my high school years, which was the online community was my social community.
Mm-hmm.
So very.
We've talked about this.
Oh yeah.
Very
Oh
similar.
yeah. So I occasionally want to say that it was a very non-traditional social structure, but actually I'm surrounded by people who had the exact same experience. So I'm starting to think maybe it's not as outlandish as I once thought it was.
I don't know, maybe we're just outlandish together.
True facts. So yeah, it was kind of difficult. A lot of people always ask me about.
I'm sorry, I just read the Strix fact.
Really deep life.
Strix facts. Strix has her own 90s cartoon called An Owlet Named Strixie Sue.
That sounds adorable.
You would make a really adorable
I would
owlet.
watch that. I would watch that.
No.
Because owlets are so frumpy. They're so frumpy.
They're so ugly. They're so ugly.
He's looking through their little blinking eyes.
I was homeschooled. So I also didn't really have the social high school experience until college, when I just kind of moved into a dorm and threw myself into it.
Oh yeah, it was a mess, right?
Yeah,
It was the same for me. I was like,
it
away
was
from home.
interesting. It was interesting. But yeah, so that was my high school experience. I was bullied a lot in grade school.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the reason that I was pulled out of public school. So yeah, that's me.
So we have very colored and varied experiences. We're gonna try to build a high school life together, but obviously all of us are bringing in something really different. Like for me, I moved 10 times before I graduated from school. Not high schools, but 10 times total since starting school. And it's a lot, right? So we all have different things feeding into what we're doing. And I was reading chat while these folks were talking about high school experiences, and it looks like, you know, a lot of you guys have experienced the same things that we have, which is isolation, which is bullying, which is, you know, getting in trouble. And, you know, for those of you that are maybe younger in the channel and listening in, like, it totally gets so much freaking better than that.
It does.
Oh my God.
Because I think part of the problem is that school just seems so small that's your entire universe. But once you step out of that, you have like an entire world that is so much different than that. And if I could go back and tell myself that, it'd be great.
It wouldn't change us. It's weird though, because we've told all these things that happen and like they're horrible, but at the same time we wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be who you are, and that's kind of like, you know, that unrepeatable. You're unrepeatable. You know.
Yep.
Dude, I don't think I'm gonna listen back then. I'll be like, ha.
Yeah.
What do you
talking
know?
about? Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm a teenager. I know everything.
Past me would never listen to future me. She'd be like, what are you doing? You're trying to sabotage me in there. All right. So thanks so much for sharing, you guys. Thank you, chat, for sharing your high school experiences. High school can be great. It can be fine. It can also be
And
super
college
shitty.
is an option. It's true. Like there are things that are like, you know, vocational or even not. Like
Yeah.
take a break. I wish I'd taken like a small break. I honestly did.
Yeah.
I really wish I did. You know.
Not everyone has to go to university.
Yeah, and not everybody learns that way either. And
Yeah,
that's
places
something
take
no one tells you
experience
that. No one freaking tells you that.
A lot of places take experience equivalent to college. So
Yes.
Yep.
Go do something else.
get
like
it on the ground floor, get an
well,
internship.
don't join the
and-
Peace Corps. Join something like I joined the Peace Corps, and that was a huge mistake. That's a totally different story. But you know, go and do shit. Take risks. Live your life. Fall down. Break a leg. Get some scars. Figure it out. That's gonna make you who you are. So experience. All right. Now that little fun sharing time is over, I hopefully have spelled enough for you to get good ideas of your characters in your heads. So whoever wants to go first, I'm not going to volunteer anyone. Please tell us your backstory. Or maybe I will pick someone.
Think about it. Did you have to talk about origin at all, or no? That's kind of a secret, isn't it?
We want to hear all of it. So there are no secrets in this kind of game. It's all transparent to the other players.
Okay, cool.
It's just secret among the characters.
Okay.
Right? Okay. All right, Steph, what you got?
Okay, cool. So definitely born a wolf.
What's your name?
Ashling. And under the provocation of a name that evokes the full moon, so Ashling's dream.
Ashton.
Ashton.
Ashton. What's Ashton's pronouns?
They, them, actually.
Cool.
So being born a wolf, kind of an orphan, obviously, but instead of being so drawn in, they're more about being on the offensive and being, I guess the good defense is the good offense, right? And I think, let's see, my backstory. What their little prompts here, is that kind of something you're supposed to go with? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah, go with this? Okay, cool.
Or don't go with them. We know whatever floats your boat.
So one of them is lacking subtlety. That's great. You know, not being human, learning to be human, not always in with the crowd.
Oh, that's so high
Yeah,
school.
that's gonna be great. That's gonna be super great. Lacking subtlety, obviously, it's just like, oh, you smell really great. What is that, you know? Backstory, I think, I would like to imagine like childhood is a blur. High school is kind of, you know, junior high is probably where they decided to start trying to fit in, trying to find something, you know, being in this neighborhood. Let's see. What else do you want to know?
Family. What's going on with your family?
Family, raised by wolves. Raised by wolves, so
So do you
that's
like,
gonna be fun.
at night, do you go back into
night,
the woods
yeah.
and hang out with your family?
Heck yeah,
Okay.
of course. Family, pack, the pack is everything.
We'll get more into that later.
Oh
but
yeah,
that's
and that's gonna be great, right? Your idea of identities and skins and who are you really, and why is this important to you?
good. Okay, so your
That's
name
what I
is
wanna
Ashton?
Aisling.
Ashlyn. And you
Ashley,
repeat it.
and the nickname would be Ash.
Aisling.
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 It's Irish.
Aisling. Okay, so you're Aisling, you're they, them. You literally live with wolves in the woods.
Wolves, yes.
And you are not good at reading the subtle human cues.
Nope.
Hell
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Boundaries are weird. Boundaries are different.
No boundaries.
I would imagine.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And then Scarlett, what you got going on over there?
I want to go with my witch's name, Meryl. She, her.
Meryl?
Yes. And her parents are in the occult, so there's pressure from her parents to her to join them in the occult and the dark arts, but
Yeah.
she tries, I
Now,
guess,
are they like Golden Dawn style, or are they like more secrety, darky?
secrety darky.
Okay.
And she tries to fight her dark side a little bit. Like she only uses like the hexes and stuff like that if like she's really hurt or really pissed off, but she tries her best to just like fight that side of her. And her sanctuary is this huge oak tree in the forest that she likes to read under even when it's just raining. Because she just looks up and then the wind through the tree just super calms her whenever she gets angry.
Okay, so she likes to hang out in the woods under her own little oak tree.
Yeah.
Tell me about her family's house. Is it a big, opulent house? Is it a little double-wide trailer? What do they got going on economically?
I'd say middle class. They got something, but there's a secret entrance to the basement where they have all their altars and occult stuff, where they do their dark deeds and the like.
Got it. Now, do you dress like a witch, or are you like bubblegum, pop stars, glitter?
Pretty standard. I mean, just occasionally black. Usually has her hair down or her hair back. Has a beanie.
So like a skater teenish?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
She was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." I mean, that's copyrighted. We don't do copyright infringement on the show. Okay.
Oh yeah. So more details for me.
Yes.
They do go by Ash for short.
Okay. Ash.
Yeah. That way the Aisling thing doesn't.
Doesn't throw me off.
Yeah. Because it's Irish and it's weird.
Okay. And actually, what does Ash like to dress like?
Dark. This
Okay.
This dark occult.
So,
Partially nature, not exactly primal.
Miss Anna, could we get name tag cards?
Dark, moody, and wants to not exactly get noticed or stand out too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So kind of just the
Neat.
broody
This is-
kid in the
this is-
corner,
yeah.
who is sometimes like you smell.
But
really
watching,
nice.
but great for watching.
Okay.
That kind of broody kid in the corner.
Got it. And lives with wolves. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty accurate. No.
All right,
Watches
Liz.
you from bushes and throws coffee at you.
Who are you?
Alright, so I am a fae named Lilith, who is girlish and has laughing eyes, looks girlish and has laughing eyes. She is fae-born, so her entire family is fae. It's very much the culture that she grew up in. She didn't have a whole lot of friends outside of that before coming to high school. She is a romantic, the kind of girl who, and she uses she, her pronouns. She is the kind of girl who read through all of Jane Austen, who reads those amazing romance novels, has just huge stacks of them, has a very warped idea of what love and romance is supposed to be, and is still very much clinging to that and thinking that she can get that and wanting that from other people.
Okay. I think I got that. Now comes strings. So strings are basically the connections you have to other people, and they're unidirectional, meaning that there's one flow to it. So if you have a string on someone else, you have power over them in a certain way. If they have a string on you, then they have power over you. Now, this does not mean it's explicit power and you have to do whatever they say at any given time, but it means you're going to react in a different way. So in your backstory, there should be a section with strings, right? So let's start with you. Lilith, what does your string sentence say?
So mine says, you wear your heart on your sleeve and give everyone one string. And you have captured someone's fancy and gained 2 strings on them.
Okay, so let's start with the first one.
Okay.
So you wear your heart on your sleeve, which means it makes it easier for other people to manipulate too. So each of you, right, Ash and Meryl, you have a string on Lilith. And because of the nature of this, you wear your card on your sleeve, it maybe means that like you have power over seeing her emotions or not her being able to obfuscate things, right? So think about the string and think about how it will come into play. And then your second string is
that you captured captured someone's fancy and gained 2 strings on them.
ooh, whose fancy do you want to have captured?
Should it be one of them? Should it be?
I think it should probably be one of them. There are NPCs in this game, however, that's not as exciting.
Not as exciting. What do you think, chat? Who should I pick?
To have a string
First
on?
person I see is the person I pick. One of these 2.
You're gonna have to give chat 30 seconds to hear you.
All right.
But who do you want to basically have a glamour on?
No, I'm not doing that. That's copyrighted.
We're learning. Oh,
Ash! Ash it is.
All of them. Oh man.
Not you, Bob.
Wow, you're really popular this time.
Rawr.
Oh, I hope that becomes a gift. Okay.
I
so
did almost meow. I was like,
You
no.
have 2 strings on Ash. So both of you might want to make a note of that, just so that you know
So
that
2
she has
towards.
some like power over you. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Like-
So I have 1 string from you. 2
Yes.
towards you.
Cool.
Okay.
So Ash, let's talk about your strings.
You lack subtlety. Give a string to everyone.
Okay, so
Wow, does that mean I have 3 strings?
Yeah.
it
on
does.
It does.
Ooh.
This is getting good already. We haven't even started yet. Oh, it needs more My Chemical Romance. Yes, I agree.
Oh. Yeah.
And Oasis.
Okay. And then
Okay,
the
so
second
what
one
is
is
your second string?
you spent weeks watching someone from a distance. Their scent and manners are unmistakable to you now. Take 2 strings on them. I'm gonna say just because of background onto Meryl because of the oak tree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The darkness, the oak tree, the secret. I'd probably be the only one to like notice that kind of thing. Being sent and being out in the wilderness. So
Okay, so you have 2 strings on Meryl because Meryl's been hanging out in the woods in her oak tree and you picked up her scent and you know that she hangs out there. Got it. This will be fun. Okay, Meryl, what you got for your first string?
You start the game with 2 sympathetic tokens. I get to decide whose and what they are. And sympathetic tokens, I gain power from sympathetic tokens, items of personal significance that you take from others. Each sympathetic token counts as a string. And it could be like a lock of hair, a diary entry, a secret note they pass to somebody. Really anything.
So there's a quick question about strings and when they get defined. So strings generally are sort of not defined until they get used. So they can sort of sit in this aqueous, semi-defined state, and then when you use a string on someone, then you get to say what's going on with that string. So that's a good question from chat, but yes, strings are not defined until we use them. So what you gonna do?
I think since we're tying in backgrounds here, I'm gonna say that Meryl found a tuft of hair near her area in the woods, and we'll use that for a string.
do you know it's wolf hair though? Oh, okay, cool. That'll be
We
interesting.
could ask chat and make sure, like, do I know for sure? Do I not know whose it is? And then we can discover it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've been hanging around. Okay.
You could be watching me and I don't even know it yet because I'm just like in my books.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not ashamed to admit that I listened to that and Helena a lot back in the day.
I don't even know what I listened to in high school.
I mean, anyway, here's Wonderwall. I listened to a lot of Incubus, anyways. And Jimmy Eat World. That was.
Okay, so Bob says he thinks it'd be cooler if you didn't know. So we'll go with it'll be cooler if you don't know who it belongs to. But you've got it.
And the second one.
So it's still kind of the give and the take thing. So for me, I've given the string to everybody, so they have 1 on me, pretty much, right? But I can take 2 from Meryl, right? Okay, cool.
Which
And then
basically these are
you-
your points to manipulate each other with. So
Okay, yeah. And then you've already taken, what, 2 from me? 3 total from me, okay.
I'll say I took one of her books.
what book did you take?
What's your favorite word? Okay, I took Pride and Prejudice, and
The ubiquitous.
the great thing about the next thing is that this could tie into that. One of the others caught you rummaging through their friend's stuff, but kept quiet. They get a string on you.
Oh, and that's me? I get a string on you?
Ooh, can I say
one
that's
of
an
your friends.
NPC?
Oh.
Yeah, you can say it's an
Yeah,
NPC.
so we're gonna
So like
introduce
you're
an
missing
NPC.
your Pride and Prejudice book, and you don't know where it is. And I have it.
Got it.
So I'm introducing an NPC. His name is Tristan, and he's a sandy-haired jock, and he's quite attractive. 'Cause why not? And Tristan caught you sorting through Lilith's stuff. Oh, Tristan.
Oh, this is way easier. Okay, cool. Sorry, hold on.
You got it figured out?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And what did you say your character's name was?
Merrill.
I wrote
Merrill.
it down even.
Yes. So we have Lilith, we have Aisling, Ash for short, and we have Meryl. And we have Fae, Werewolf, and Witch, mixed in with regular freaking teenagers. So you know that it's gonna be awesome.
So I'm gonna try and rearrange this. So you have three strings on me.
Yep.
You have 2 or 3?
Because I already get one.
Yeah,
right?
you got one.
And then, yeah, I have one, and then one unknown. Like, I don't know if I have
Okay,
a
one
string
on
until
each.
later.
Question mark on
So
one.
there's a question in chat about what strings are. Basically, I think Cthulhu Hoopster asked if they're essentially blackmail or not. They could be blackmail if you wanted to use them that way, but really you should think of it as more like influence, emotional influence. So you could use your emotional influence for blackmail, you could use it to be like, hey, what's up? Or you could be like, no, I'm gonna make you think you're really bad and bully you. So it's used in a variety of different ways. And as we get into using strings, I think it will help illustrate for us what exactly they're gonna get used for.
Like Small Fry said, emotional intelligence over someone.
Yep, I would totally agree with that. Okay, so do we have all of our strings figured out for now?
I believe so.
Okay, so once we've completed this process, we're gonna go around the table again and choose highlighted stats. And what that means is each player in turn asks, who has the most strings on me? That information will not be located on your sheet, but everyone else's. So you'll need to figure out who that is. For each character, the player with the most strings on that character chooses one of their stats to highlight. And then I choose the second stat to highlight. So basically you're gonna get 2 of your 4 stats highlighted. And basically anytime you use one of these stats in a scene, well, the first time you use one of these stats in a scene, you get an experience point, which is how you advance the game.
Oh.
So the reasons why you would wanna highlight a good stat or a stronger stat is so that you can succeed. But the reason why I might wanna highlight a stat is to make you use it even though you might fail, so it might be a lower stat, right? That's generally how it works out, but sometimes the GM is nice and says, no, I want you to use this other stat instead. So now each of you is gonna figure out who has the most strings on you, and that person is gonna choose one of your stats to highlight, which is what these wonderful little dots are.
Okay.
So let's start with Liz, who is Lilith. So who has the most strings on Lilith?
Are we counting or just deciding?
No, we're counting.
Okay.
I have 3.
And how many do you? 2? Okay, so Ash does.
Okay, so Ash, you're gonna choose one of her stats to highlight, which means she gets experience points if he uses it
Oh.
in the scene. So you could be like nice, or you could be like, I want you to like do interesting things and fail sometimes, and then I get to choose the other
Oh,
one.
okay.
Steph, just remember how much you like me.
We're not using strings yet.
So
Already trying.
I would like to see your very hard-on-sleeve character descend a little, because I come from somewhere primal.
Ooh, dark was picked.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
Okay, and then I want to see you use your hot.
There are no strings on me.
Let's welcome Geneva Plus with an affirmation.
It's Genova Plus. So 4 AM Critter is affirming Genova Plus, which is freaking awesome. Yes. You know what, Genova Plus? You are an exuberant, arresting.
Gorobot hashtag neonite hashtag hash browns.
Hash brown.
Nice, Genova Plus.
Oh, sorry. We get excited when we do Hyper Rapid Power Go. We'll not do it as on next time. So, Genova Plus wants me to affirm myself and make my own noise. That's very meta. So, I'm gonna...
That was beautiful.
Can we get an affirmation for the Strix herself? Oh, and what does that sound like, Strix? Ha maniacal robot
Wow.
laugh, hashtag neonite, hashtag hash browns.
Nice, Genova Plus.
Oh, sorry. We get excited when we do Hyper Rapid Power Go. We'll not do it as on next time. So, Genova Plus wants me to affirm myself and make my own noise. That's very meta. So, I'm gonna do that. And my affirmation today is that I am an eager, flaming kitsune, which is a magical fox creature. And if I had to make my own noise, so you know that thing with like Metatron, and if you hear the voice of God, you die. It's kind of like that.
Supernatural threat.
I don't think you could really handle what the Strix truly sounds like.
So you're just speaking through
Strix
a bunch
fact.
of ravens and a
So
treasure
it's
chest
both
right now.
a Strix fact and a cop-out.
Do it. I said, prepare yourselves.
Oh, okay.
Oh god.
So, and this is also very Lord of the Rings, you know, all shall love me and despair kind of moments. So let me think what I actually truly sound like. Probably a little bit Xena. Yep, got that. Okay. Terrifying. Yep. Okay. And all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna look completely ridiculous. So I hope that you appreciate this.
Get your gifts ready.
All right, here we go.
A very opera singer at the end there.
Yes.
There's your warning.
So that is probably the first and last time that I will do that.
The beginning and the end.
Someone make a button.
The alpha and the omega.
It's
love
just a fraction of my true sound. Just a fraction.
Yeah, let's get some hype
We all
for
know
that. Yes.
Look at all that hype.
Nice.
So much.
Oh man, and now I'm feeling a little hot. This is a lot of exertion there.
I think that raised the temperature of the room actually.
Yeah.
All of it did.
My face is red. Maybe that's just embarrassment. I don't get embarrassed. I just look embarrassed. Okay.
Just to take pity on
Just
the rest
to,
of us.
so that you don't feel left out. Okay, so now it is Ash's turn. Who has the most strings on Ash? I bet I can guess.
Meryl does. 2? Oh, you do. You do. Oh.
I'm pretty balanced over here.
All right, so why don't you highlight a stat for Ash? What's going to be the most fun for Ash today?
Wow, you've got a pretty high volatile already. I would like to see you use that.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
So we're gonna go with volatile.
Excellent. And then can I see your sheet, Ash, please? What do I want to make you do? Yes, I want to do darkness.
Oh man.
Darkness, which is a -1. Oh, dear readers.
Fail into success.
All right, Meryl. Who's got the most strings on you? Help us out, folks.
Pretty sure it's Ash.
All right, Ash. What do you want to highlight for stats?
Ooh, yeah. I want to see hot only because of manipulation and all your hexes.
That can go really well or really wrong.
Poorly, yeah.
Ha. Ha. Virus6 says the mic wasn't able to get all those hyper frequencies. Should have been beautiful. That's right. It was beautiful.
That's true.
That's right. Strix fact. Strix wants to boil water. She just holds the cup to the head and then thinks her thoughts with it and boils the water just like that. That's right. Strix facts. Okay.
Strix makes rice by eating rice grains and then pouring hot water in her mouth.
All right. So for our little witchy witch here, we've got hot already. And I want cold too.
I'm hot and I'm cold. I'm
Yes,
yes and I'm no. I'm in and I'm out.
I mean, copyright.
Copyright.
Sorry.
Joe's looking at us like,
Second Jurassic Park. And it's Joe instead.
Strix, would you please give a friend of mine in the hash G33KFL33T an affirmation? He likely wants to be anonymous, but I want my friend to know that we all love and care for him. #G33KFL33 family, and please let him know for me less than 3.
Aw. So that is an affirmation for Anonymous Guy, but I'm pretty sure Anonymous Guy, you know who you are. So, ooh, this is this is a good one too. So, Anonymous Guy, you are a sensual, bellowing caterpillar. A sensual, bellowing caterpillar. I feel like I can't pass this one up.
Now it's like Russian roulette. I'm just saying. I knew the second I saw caterpillar.
I have a perfect idea of what it would sound like.
Oh, you want to do it?
It's just all
Bellowing is loud, so I just imagine a caterpillar in the background munching on a leaf and suddenly it's going, ah!
But it's like sensual bellowing.
Oh, it's like a tiny little caterpillar, and it's like a shaft of light from heaven. It's just, like,
Is it like
sensational.
glistening? The caterpillar's
It's
like-
shining. Like, you know when like the light catches the
Maybe
dust?
it's like posing
It's just
sensually,
there.
and he opens its mouth and it's just like,
Posing
ah!
caterpillar. Let's all take a moment to imagine that.
Bellowing caterpillar. Yes.
Paint me like one of your French caterpillars.
Your French butterflies.
Yes.
So we're gonna try to yell less. I'm sorry,
Sorry.
chat. I know we're frying your ears. We're just very excited because it's Friday.
That's why I screamed that
And
way.
we're bellowing caterpillars who are very sensual. And we are playing a game about hormonal teenage monsters. So, you know, you
Yeah.
can't really blame us.
I do have a
Just
2 in
saying.
volatile, sorry.
So we're gonna try to bring it down to a decibel level that's not gonna fry the mics and not it's gonna hurt Joe's ears or yours. And they're high-fiving and I'm not sure why, that's scary. But here we go.
They're planning things.
Okay, so we have now highlighted all of our stats for today, which means you're encouraged to use those stats, but definitely use whatever stats you need. So the next thing is what you start with. So, oh, we got dancing.
It was a good beat.
So just to get you guys oriented with how you're going to start, both before and during play, lots of questions will surface about your character. Do they have parents? Are they rich? Are they poor? Do they have a cat? Do they have a drug stash? Answer these questions however you want. It's fine to say that you live with wealthy parents and have a brand new sports car, and that next year you're basically guaranteed a spot at Harvard. It's also fine to say that you were alive, you live in a trailer home with an abusive stepdad who robs liquor stores in order to pay the bills. So really, we want as much flesh on these characters as we can get. We want to make them real people. We want to be cautious, though, about the choices to have your parents also be monsters. It's a decision with sweeping impact on how your character processes their difference and isolation. So it's kind of like being from a multicultural community or being from a different ethnicity and coming over to the United States. And your parents are also those people, right? So keep that in mind when you're forming your characters. And again, the objective of this story is not to win anything. You're not going to beat each other to death or whatever. The point is to tell a darn good story. So that's what we are all here to do today. So, playing the game. Playing the game is orchestrated through scenes. So like Apocalypse World and like Urban Shadows and many other games in this genre, we have scenes that are kind of like movie scenes, right? They go naturally from one point to another, but we always take a little bit of time to set them up or frame them. Now, I normally, as the GM, will frame the first scene, but after that, it's within the player's power to frame the next scene or to help frame the next scene. So this is all very collaborative. So, the one caveat to that is that I do have ultimate authority over scene framing. So if I'm like, that doesn't make sense, then I'm gonna be like, hey, let's do something else with the scene framing. So just so that's clear, if anything else happens and I don't like it, then we'll change the scene back to whatever is going on. Okay, so talking and moves. So obviously this game is just us talking to each other about what we're doing, which is fun. But every character has basic moves they can use, no matter what their sheet is. So you should have a player reference sheet, which I've provided you, and there are basic moves here. Ta-da! So the basic moves for Monsterhearts are as follows. You have turn someone on, which I bet you can guess what that means. We have manipulate an NPC, which is pretty straightforward. You're gonna manipulate someone who's not really a character. You're gonna shut someone down. So you're gonna ice someone pretty hard. And you're gonna hold steady, which basically means if something weird is going on and you need to not flip out, then that's what you're gonna use. Lash out physically, which means that you're going to enact physical violence of some kind, fight or flight. and then run away, which is the flight aspect. So you can stay and you can fight, or you can hightail it out of there. And then probably one of my favorites is gaze into the abyss. And hopefully we get to use that one a lot because it's really fun. But bad things happen, obviously, and good things happen. So we want to use all of these moves as often as we can. So if you're in the middle of playing and you're like, oh, I could use a move for this, go ahead and do it. And I might also suggest, hey, you might want to use this move now. That makes sense. But sometimes we're going to do things in character that don't need moves, and that's totally fine. And then, of course, you have your character-specific moves, which we went over. So definitely use those too. We will also be using 2d6s. So whenever you roll for a move, you're going to use 2d6s. And the important thing to know is that 7 to 9 is good, 10 is better, 6 and below, I get to do what I want. So at a 7 to 9, you're going to get what you want, but usually with a cost or a twist to it. And a 10, you get exactly what you want, which is kind of boring, which is why it's hard to do. And then on a 6, basically, I get to roll up my sleeves and tell you what's what. So you usually want to get a 7 to 9, but sometimes it's fun to not. And sometimes it's also fun to really get really high, get like a 10 to 12. So this game, like many others in the Apocalypse world, you can get bonuses to rolling dice, doing certain things, or helping or hindering each other. Your stats, what is this now?
Strix facts. When Strix gazes into the abyss waves and asks about her day.
That's right.
Yeah.
No one's afraid of the abyss. Bye 4 AM Critter, thanks for joining us. Okay, so when you roll the dice, you're rolling 2d6, you want 7 to 9 or a 10. If you fail, then I get to tell you what happens. You can take pluses or minuses, we call that going forward, depending on what's happened before or whether someone's helping or hindering you. Those factor into your dice rolls, as well as your base stats. Okay. So whatever base stat you were rolling with, you either add or subtract, depending on what the score is, to your dice roll. Making sense so far? All right. And that's our list of basic moves, and we've got our strings. So, you probably want to know this, right? What you can do with strings?
Yes.
Yes, we want to know what we can do with strings. So strings are an emotional hold that you have over other people. And when someone has a string on you, it means they in some way have gained emotional power over you, and vice versa. So you can spend a string on another player character to do the following. And this is also on your sheets, so don't freak out. You can add one to your roll against them, which means if you roll against someone else, you can add to your roll to help yourself win. And you can subtract one from their roll against you, which is a different spending of the string point, right? Okay. You can offer them an experience point to do what you want, which is super juicy, by the way. That's a super juicy move. You can be like, you can get this experience point if you do this thing. So you have to spend a string to do it, but really fun. And then you can force them to hold steady in order to carry out a specific action. So if they try to hold steady and they fail, you can be like, no, here's a string, do it. You can also add an extra harm to whatever harm you're dealing to them. So in this game, you can harm each other, and you can, in fact, die. It does happen. So you could actually pile on the harm per string. So that's rather nasty.
So you see, in fact, it may all end with us killing each other.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we all want to be friends. And then the last thing you can do is place a condition on them. And a condition is something like, I feel really drained, I didn't get enough sleep, I'm really afraid right now, and we'll get into what conditions are and when they start and when they stop. But putting conditions on other people is a great way to sort of get leverage on them. So this is all about manipulation, guys. It's high school. Okay, exciting. So you can also spin strings on NPCs like Tristan. And the list is slightly different, and again, it's on your character sheet. But you can add one to your roll against them, just like normal. You can add 3 to your manipulate an NPC roll against them. 3, if you spin a string. You can cause them to falter, hesitate, or freeze up momentarily. And you can add an extra harm to them or add a condition, so just like a PC character. But the important one is you can add 3 to your manipulate an NPC roll if you choose to spin a string. Okay. And the other caveat to strings is whenever you spin a string, there needs to be something in the fiction to explain the mechanical effect. So remember, if you're gonna do it, do it. So don't just say, I'm going to spin a string and now you have to do my thing, right? You say, I'm going to take your hand and look you in the eye and say, please. And then you're going to get this, spin that string. Make sense? So we always want to just do it.
So we need to make sure to role play.
Oh, you know I'm not going to let you off
Role
that hook.
play.
Liz has learned. Liz has learned. I'm going to make you role play. Okay, so any questions on strings?
Pretty straightforward.
Okay. All right. And so a little bit more on conditions. Basically, conditions are gained over the course of play. If you take an advantage of a condition of someone else, when you move against them, you add one to your roll, which is why conditions are good, right? So if they have a condition and you say, I'm going to use that against you doing this thing, you get a +1 to your roll. If a character already has a specific condition, like drained, they can't gain the condition again, so you can't double down on conditions. A condition goes away when the character suffering it takes appropriate action to alleviate it. What constitutes appropriate action is my call. So you can be like, I try to drink my sorrows away to get rid of my condition. I'm gonna be like, that doesn't work, try again.
And as we all remember from our time in the Warren, Strix is a loving, benevolent, forgiving GM who will let us just have the most wonderful, positive, do exactly what we want kind of time.
I think that's exactly what happened.
I'm so scared.
It's true, actually. It might be towards the end with the monkeys.
I'm pretty sure that you brought a freaking monkey army to the Warren.
It wasn't me.
Murdered the leader.
It wasn't me.
And then took it
I'm
over.
just saying it wasn't me.
So, yes.
I may have
Hashtag
been-
game feels.
I'm just saying. You should go watch the video on
Just saying
demand of
hashtag game feels.
by the way.
Okay, and then one last note on Darkest Self, because you've probably seen that on your character sheet, right? So Darkest Self is a thing that happens when you're like pushed too hard and you go all super crazy monster form. Certain instances in the game will demand that a character becomes their darkest self, which I hope happens. When you become your darkest self, there's a script to follow. The script is described on your skin sheet, so you might want to just at least know where it is. And play that script as hard as you can, because you're your darkest self. This is the moment when you're supposed to lose sight of your humanity. Whatever amount you had in the first place, it is gone. When you're your darkest self, your priority as a player should shift. Aim to do damage, to live up to a certain dark vision of the character, and to set someone awful precedents. So if you go darkest self, like it is on, right? It is on like Donkey Kong. You want to be just nasty.
Do you want us to read our darkest selves? Just so like.
Ooh, yeah, I want to hear your darkest self.
Okay. Okay, so werewolf. You transform into a terrifying wolf creature. You crave power and dominance, and those are earned through bloodshed. If anyone attempts to stand in your way, they must be brought down and made to bleed. You escape your darkest self when you wound someone you really care about, or the sun rises, whichever happens first.
So yes, darkest self stops at some point, and in your case, it's when you hurt someone or the sun
sun
rises.
rises,
Okay. Oof. Okay.
Run up a tree for the night.
Scarlett, what about you?
Oh God. That actually goes right on like what I'm trying to avoid. The time for subtlety and patience is over. You're too powerful to put up with their shit any longer. You hex anyone who slights you. All of your hexes have unexpected side effects and are more effective than you are comfortable with.
Whoa.
To escape your darkest self, you must offer peace to the one you have hurt the most.
Ooh, so you're basically Willow.
Ooh, yeah.
Frickin' Willow.
Oh, man.
Hashtag Buffy feels.
Too soon.
I got a marathon Buffy.
It's true though.
All right, what's your darkest self?
All right, my darkest self. So Fae are all about kind of extracting promises. So my darkest self is everything you say is a promise. Everything you hear is a promise. If a promise is broken, justice must be wrought in blood. To escape your darkest self, you must in some way rebalance the scales of justice.
It's kind of like a literal genie.
Yeah, that's
Like
hardcore.
you gotta be careful what you wish for in the wording you use with a genie.
Now watch yourself.
Okay, so let me check the time here. Oh, yep. Okay, so today we did not quite get to starting before halfway through. But as soon as we are done with our Game Feels hashtags, we're gonna get started with framing the scene, which I will do, and then we're gonna get into high school life. Yay! So, again, Game Feels is the hashtag we are using today with a Z. We want you to tweet with the hashtag GameFeels affirmations for yourself, for each other, for thank God it's Friday and it's really nice outside. This is our positive affirmation time. So I am going to pull out some GameFeels hashtag tweets right now. I'm gonna see what we got going on.
Get them tweets going, y'all.
Yeah, you better be quick about it, or else I'm gonna affirm you harder. I mean, that's not really.
Oh my.
Oh.
That didn't work as a
The affirmation
Well
hammer.
done.
Affirm you all over.
Oh, Twitter knows I'm gonna look for GameFeels. That's nice, Twitter.
That's awesome.
Okay, and I've learned my lesson about top tweets and all tweets. There we go. Strix facts. Strix is so benevolent as a GM that it loops back and becomes malevolence. Yes, it does. Okay, so I have some game feels for you guys. I hope you're ready. Rachel said, game feels sad to miss the end of the show today. What a lovely group of magical wandering beasts.
Aww.
You guys are magical wandering beasts. Justin says, Scarlett, you're a captivating, colorful corvid.
Lovely. What is a
And-
corvid, though?
Corvid is a crow.
Yes.
Nice.
Genum philus.
Yes.
Genum philus?
Proud of you.
Yes.
Yeah, not family. Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
Corvide, or is it corvide?
Oh, it looks like Justin did one for a couple people. So, Sour Fruit Junkie is you. Stephanie, you are a crazy creative crow.
Aw.
And Lizzie, Justin also says, you're a quaintly quirky koala.
Yay! They're adorable, thank you.
Aww.
Also, I love alliteration.
And the
Oh my
screech.
God.
Yeah, that was
I love
great.
alliteration.
And the screeching. It's all accurate. We're all loud. We're all so loud.
Yeah.
Have you heard a koala scream?
It's horrible.
I've heard.
It's up there with rabbits.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the screaming works. It
I've
all works.
never
All
heard
of
a
us
rabbit
combined.
All right.
It's like a
It's
baby
like a
dying.
baby dying.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's hardcore.
Is it almost bad as Fox? Because I didn't know what a fox sounded like until after the
Like,
song.
people
So
what
then I
after
googled
the
it.
song?
Oh no!
And
It's
it was like the
it's
worst
makes your
ever.
skin crawl. Like
Oh, excellent.
Please give an affirmation to Steph. We really less than 3 her and hope these 2 minds for the destructors won't make her not like yous anymore. Hashtag Shia hashtag Wah.
Of course, it's Shallow.
of course.
Oh, Stephanie. Are you ready for
What
this?
is mine? Yes.
You gotta come over here. Are you ready for this affirmation from Shiawasa? Okay. You are, totally. You are a flamboyant, amusing hippogriff. Oh, it's perfect! It's perfect. A flamboyant hippogriff.
And it's like the
That is
it's
your
the wings
affirmation.
too.
Yeah. Aw, that was lovely. What was that again? That's
Well, you know when they drop wings and they just kind of just ruffle around. It's flamboyant.
I know exactly. No, it's true. They do the
Just do that little.
do the thing.
I
All right.
just left that in.
That's fun.
Have you seen my
Ferocious
dog run?
birds of prey.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
That's
they're like-
hilarious
They are.
thing.
Owls are very scary.
It's just like
Yeah, they just kind of hobble over.
You guys are kind of ruining my cred here. Owls are vicious and
Owlets.
scary. And they don't yak up pellets and bones. Okay. So Javier Beltran, who I may or may not be related to, we're still establishing that, says, Lizzie, you are a fluffy, scheming polar dog.
I like it.
Scarlett, you are a keen and steadfast Kerbal.
Purple.
Kerbal, like Kerbal spacecraft.
oh.
Kerbal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love space, so that works.
Good night, Commander
Thank you.
Shepard.
And then, good night, Commander Shepard. Javier Beltran says, I am a distinguished pearlescent deep sea cephalopod. That's pretty impressive. Bob the Ninja Goldfish says, the game feel sign is trying really, really hard not to fall over. It's its own little piece of affirmation. That's right, little game sign, you can do it.
Little game sign that could.
It's true.
It's holding on by a string.
Josephine says, game feels, no matter how rough the road looks ahead, always remember that you're never alone. Weekly affirmations, one Canada tandem bike.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good.
True. That's
You may
fuzzy.
feel lonely, but you're
all
never
fuzzy.
actually alone.
Yeah, it's actually a really good one. I might retweet that one. Jordan Wynn says, Liz's smile means it's already too late. There is no escape. This is true. She's holding us all hostage. Help us.
Everything is
I
fine.
see you, Jordan.
And then Jason says, Strix, my radio is dying. But before I go, please give yourself and the other 3 wonderful ladies with you an affirmation. Jason, why would you say that? Why did you do that? Okay. I'm just gonna pull this one out of my head. So this is for you. I'm affirming you. You are all incredibly intelligent, creative badasses.
Yeah.
We even get the sound. Thank you, Joe. I'll probably read a couple more, and then we'll get started with actually playing. Nope, that's it for now. I want to save this for later. Okay, so those are mid-show game feels. You're gonna have another chance to tweet out your game feels at the end of the show, and those game feels might be a little more associated with the game and what it is making you feel, so we can look forward to that. So remember, donate or subscribe. You get your own affirmation from the affirmation matrix. You can give it to someone else. You can take it for yourself. There's been a lot of people giving each other affirmations today, which I thought is really cool. And of course, use the hashtag GameFeels with the brave little sign that can. And we're gonna get started. So you guys ready?
Let's do this.
So, for those of you just joining us, we are playing Monsterhearts by Avery McDonalow. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, and it involves teenagers who are monsters, and it's really freaking awesome. We're going to be playing 2 more episodes of this game, so we're going to get really into what's going on in the story, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Remember, we have the X card. I encourage you to use the X card. So we just get it established that it is okay to use. Remember that discussion earlier today? And of course, safety is always first, and then comes fun. All right. So let's frame this. It is the lunch hour at your high school. It's a largest high school. It probably has 2,000 kids in it, so it's pretty big. Really easy to get lost in the shuffle. It's a middle-class school. So you have some affluent kids, you have some lower income kids, but everyone seems to get by for the most part, and those that don't are usually just ignored. So it's kind of hard to know that they're there in the first place. In your lunchroom cafeteria, it's pretty large actually. It's almost like half a football field. But there are lots of tables everywhere. There's the school salad bar, which no one uses. There is the school pizza line, which is filled with students. And there are vending machines, there's soda pop, there's candy. Not a lot of real food though, it's all just sugar and carbs. And it's very well lit. It has like fluorescent bulbs that are just kind of overly bright. They wash you out. It feels a lot different than sunlight. It feels sterile. And you are either coming or going or staying for lunch, because not everyone hangs out in the lunchroom, as we know. And there are various cliques. It's almost like a landscape, a map of all of the little social spheres. So in one corner, and I do mean corner, is the thespians and the NFL kids, which are the debaters and the actors. And they're pretty weird and they keep to themselves. But every once in a while you just hear this like uproarious laughter from them. Someone's doing something funny or spitting on their head or doing a soliloquy, and they seem to be having a good time minding their own business. Towards the center of the room are the student council kids, who are really clean cut and are always on the morning announcements telling you to, check your car's tags to make sure that you don't get towed and to come to the pep rally. They're the ones who always have those slingshots and, throw t-shirts into the crowd when you guys are cheering on your football team. There's nothing really wrong with them, but you probably don't like them, right? You probably don't, let's just be honest. There are various other groups. There's kids who are goths. There's this whole group of people who think that they're witches. They're not really witches. They're more like
posers.
They're into like paganism and Wicca, and they're like, let's do some stuff with crystals. That's fun. And then there are goth kids, and there are athletes. The athletes are actually more segregated than you would think. It's not like the whole soccer team hangs out together, the whole football team hangs out together. They're sort of this ever-moving conglomerate that's sort of swirling around. And then finally you have the skater kids, who are not actually in the cafeteria because they don't hang out there. They're outside, and they're always being chased around. And then you have the kids who are really, really poor. And they're actually hard to see because they're usually alone. They usually have gotten good at making themselves really small. but they're littered throughout this whole area. So you're at this cafeteria at lunch, and there is always a school administrator walking around making sure that no one's sticking their hands where they don't belong, or someone's skirt's not too short, because, you know, that's the most important thing in life. And we're gonna call her Mrs. Hapkey.
I hate her already.
Yes. And she has sort of this like hangdog expression all the time. She looks like she is older than she actually is, and she always looks like she is in a bad mood and that you have done something wrong.
Like
so
a rusting, angry face.
She's circling these waters like a shark. And she is always looking for someone to pick on, to pull into the office, to give a demerit to, because demerits are totally a thing. And she's just never happy. She just looks like she's never had a happy day in her life.
Aww.
But she's so mean to you, so you don't really care, because you're a teenager, right? Okay, so go ahead and place yourselves into this situation. I want to hear where you are and what you're doing. And I want to start with Ash.
I definitely have tater tots and chocolate milk.
Okay.
Ooh.
A balanced lunch.
Yes.
From what I have. I think I'm scoping right now because I don't really think that I fit in. Maybe with the Wiccans only because they have rocks. But that's about it. So I probably like am alone but sitting near them. Just overhearing what they've got, what they have, and I don't plan to stay long.
And how are you eating your food? Are you like wolfing it down? Or are you like
Wolfing.
picking at it?
Picking at it because it's tater tots. You know how when you just like pick it in half and eat the insides? So kind of methodical. Actually, really methodical. I'm really methodical with my fries anyway. But yes, no,
Okay.
absolutely very methodical with tater tots.
So did you buy your lunch from the cafeteria itself?
Yes.
So are you a free lunch kid, or did you actually like have the money?
Reduced. Is it like
A reduced lunch.
Yeah, I remember those.
I was a reduced
yes.
lunch kid.
Yeah.
Reduced lunch kid.
Oh, the shame. No, really, it's a thing.
I have no idea what it is.
You reduce lunch?
No.
So, depending on your socioeconomic status, the school will either reduce the cost of food for you or make it free. And they identify you in these really humiliating ways, and you get to go like get lunch from the cafeteria, but it almost always marks you as a free lunch kid, which means that you are poor and there's something wrong with you. And I was totally a free lunch kid.
Hence
so.
the tater tots and the chocolate milk.
Got it. Got it.
$1.50 back then.
The things homeschoolers don't know.
So now you know, and now corporate knows too what a free lunch kid is. And there's definitely like a social hierarchy. And if you're a free lunch kid, it definitely bumps you down a whole lot.
And
Our high school, it was colored stripes on our student IDs,
Oh.
and the reduced was like orange, and then free was like red. So
That is the worst.
It's like a
system
terror
ever.
alert.
Just
terror
slap
alert.
a badge on them. Oh my god.
It's like a terror alert the whole way
often
down.
you would
There's
see
like,
people like to face their student IDs just
Yes,
to
don't
get rid.
fancy
It was like wearing a badge. It was like the worst thing.
So do we wear student IDs at the school?
Wear
Like clip-ons or like
Like on a lanyard?
I would have mine in my
gosh.
pocket. Oh.
Like, is it required at the school to wear student IDs?
I think with middle class probably. Yeah. That's
You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to wear your student ID on your
I
lanyard.
try not to.
Whether or not you do,
Yeah,
okay.
I will keep mine.
I know what's gonna happen there.
Oh yeah.
always get told to keep it in your pocket.
Yep.
Okay, so it's
Yep.
stuck in your pocket somewhere. You're not wearing your
I
student.
have it, and then once I'm done, it's like a lanyard pocket.
Okay. Cool. And so you're sitting there, you're picking out your tater tots, your ID stashed in your pocket. You're sort of adjacent to this witch group as they talk about, like, I totally got a ghost last night. Oh my gosh, it was so intense. I think I trapped it in a crystal, but I'm not sure. Do you want to look at my crystal after school today?
Sir Goth Valley. I love this. It's great.
Valley Girl Wiccans.
Hey, they are
This
so
is
intense.
It is a thing. No, it's totally a thing.
This
I
is
used to
my
live in
lunch. This is my
California,
lunchtime
100%.
show while I'm eating. For sure. This is where I hang out.
Oh my
For
gosh.
sure.
Okay, so that's what Ash is doing. Lilith, you walk in late because you were talking to a teacher about something. You get a bead on the whole room. Where do you go? What do you do?
So Lilith is a free luncher, but likes to keep, usually wears cardigans, just coincidentally, that tend to be buttoned with her badge inside them. She comes in late and she gets her lunch, scopes around the room, spots the werewolf, and immediately just plops herself down, kind of encroaches upon her their space. Pardon me.
Okay.
Hi, Ash.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, we'll pause there. So we're
Got
gonna
it.
pick that back up. What is Meryl doing?
She's getting pizza from the pizza line, holding on to, I'm gonna go ahead and run with the skater look, and she's holding on to her skateboard, and she's gonna go meet up with her acquaintances. Just
Are
to,
skateboards allowed inside of the school building?
maybe not to ride, but maybe to hold.
Pick up. Okay.
Ooh, chocolate. She has it like in there, and then the tray in the other, and getting ready to pay. She's from the upper middle class family, so she's normal lunch.
Are we being bribed?
Did you read your game feels yet?
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, I read the game feels.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm better at time now. I was really bad at time the first episode. I needed help. It's time for game feels. No, we did the game feels. Thank you, Anna. And thank you for the chocolate, which I will have. Okay, so you are gonna step outside and hang with your skater friends and eat pizza.
Yes.
Give me the name of one of your skater friends.
Brent.
Brent.
Typical, like, teenage skater dude. Hair that flips outside his beanie, slightly greasy, maybe a little bit of acne.
Is he smart or is he not smart?
He's like a secret smart. Like, he just has those genius moments, but he just says stupid stuff all the time. That when he says something smart, everyone's like, whoa, Brent, where did that come from?
Okay, cool. So we're gonna circle back around to you guys. You just sat down and said,
Hey,
How's it going? How's it going?
it's going pretty good. Having
Yeah.
tater tots.
They're great. I like tater tots.
Tater tots are pretty delicious.
Yeah, they are. So
Just kind of encroaching upon personal space.
So what have you been up to? I kind of scoot a little, just for our movement.
Just for arm movement,
little arm
totally. Oh, you know, this and that. I was just talking to Mr. Jensen. No big.
Mr. Jensen.
Just Mr. Jensen is a math teacher.
Oh,
The person that she was talking to before.
would I have had class with this? Would I share math with you?
so Mr. Gibson's probably advanced algebra or maybe calculus?
Yeah.
That'd be fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you take calculus?
No.
Okay.
No. So what is that, like math or something?
Yeah, it's math.
Like, oh, that sucks. I hate math. Ugh. This makes sense. It never made sense.
Yeah, it's math.
He's talking about.
He catches Lilith out of the corner of his eye, just freezes for like a second, and then keeps walking. He did not see her.
Huh. Okay.
So what are you doing after school?
What am I talking about after school?
You run into the woods and
I,
play with wolves.
I'm gonna go out to just gonna go hang out in the forest, like just wander around, check out the creek,
Oh,
poke
fun.
some newts.
What?
Newts? Like, you know. What am I talking about after school?
You run into the woods and
I,
play with wolves.
I'm gonna go out to just gonna go hang out in the forest, like just wander around, check out the creek,
Oh,
poke
fun.
some newts.
What?
Newts? Like, you know, salamanders and
Oh.
stuff.
Oh, newts.
Stuff that's in the,
Okay,
stuff
yeah.
that's in the
I know what
woods.
newts are, totally. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. How about you?
I don't know. Newts sound fun.
You hear this
Oh.
from the side where the witches are hanging out, and they're not talking to you, clearly, but they are talking to you. And so one of them's like, "Oh my god, no one knows what newts are actually for. That is so stereotypical to think that just because we're witches that we're all into like Eye of Newt. It is so not cool. Oh my god.
Do you need me to get you some?
What?
Do you need some newts?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Lilith,
You didn't think I could hear that?
Like, way to be really insulting.
Get it in a jar. Like, you don't have to be dead. I don't want to kill him. Why would you?
Stop making fun of us. It's not cool.
It's not fun. I'm not making fun of you. Newts are cool.
He is so
Nature's
making
cool.
fun of us. He is so making fun of us.
It's they.
Oh,
It's Ash.
okay.
Yeah, at least use that.
Ash. It's not funny to make fun of people who are different.
I'm not making fun of you. Why is that making fun of you? I don't get it. How am I making fun of you? I offered you something nice.
You know what? I don't have time for this. Girls, let's go. Yeah, let's go. And they like get up and they're like, I'm gonna put him in a crystal ball.
I just do this.
Use that laugh again. And they kind of like get up as a group and then like storm off in a huff, and like one or two of them will like look back and like look daggers at you guys like, how dare you insult us for like being witches, and we can't believe you just like made jokes about newts. That is so
so insensitive.
So offensive.
So I have a quick question. Do we each know that the others are fae, witch, and werewolf?
Do you?
I just think you're really bright
Like, are
and peppy,
we
and it's a little weird, but
monsters?
like,
Is it like a monster high, or is it
okay,
like
okay.
monsters coincidentally in a human high?
So you are monsters coincidentally at a human high.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I've seen you around in and out of like at least through middle school and stuff, and I've seen you around flitting in and out. You're like the bright person, and for some reason you like talking to me, and that's okay. I like hearing your stories. I think that's like that association for that one. You have just followed you around. I just know you live in the woods.
Stalker.
Yeah, you're just in the woods. Fellow wood person. This is okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
Yes,
They
I do not
stop
know.
off.
I didn't know anything about it.
And you guys are kind of left going like, what?
Did I say something?
They're not even real witches. Like,
Well, people can be what they want, but like I wasn't being mean to them.
I think they just, were taking it wrong.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Should just get them a nude anyway.
Please do.
Just gonna get a nude anyway.
Please, yes. Did Wiccan steal my lunch? No, I was the lunch stealing Wiccan. Now you know.
You could get me a newt.
Okay.
So you're gonna get me a newt?
Yeah, I can get a few newts.
Awesome.
But they're in a secret place, so I don't take people up to like where I hang out. But I'll bring you one. I'll
Does
totally
this
bring you one.
concern you at all? You're talking about secret places and newts.
Well, I mean, I figure at this point she probably knows that Ash is a little bit weird.
Yeah. My little newt creek. So yeah, I could totally find some for you.
So she's just more interested in making Ash get her something.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
You'll play nice.
Okay, so we'll swing back the camera to Meryl. So Meryl's got her skateboard, he's got a pizza. She's like, hey Brent, what's going on? Right? So tell me about sitting down with these skater folks and what it's like.
Lots of inside jokes and like, oh hey, did you catch the latest? I don't know, like The Voice.
They're into The Voice.
Like I don't know what universe we're having.
talk about
Or The
the
Voice
latest.
esque where they do like they show like really bad singers and they're talking about the latest bad singers. That was like totally hilarious. This one guy.
Oh, maybe the X Games are going on right now?
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So they're. Oh, I have perfect idea.
John White?
Okay, there you go.
Perfect idea. They have their own like X Games fantasy league, and they're
Okay.
boom.
Okay, so the X Games Fantasy League is on. Brent's like, oh man, did you see last night's scores? I am totally ahead. I've got this rigged, man. I'm gonna win this league.
Whatever, Brent. Don't talk to me. I'm still angry about Jones's like loss. Like it was
come
1
on.
point.
Come
It
on,
was
you're
1
just
point.
sore. You're just sore.
It was 1 point. I'll make it up. Just get out of my face, Brent.
But he's never gonna pull it off. What? He's not gonna pull it off. He chokes at the last minute every time.
No, but you don't understand. He likes to do that. He likes to like pull behind so he can have like a bigger win. He's done that. He did that in '98. He did that in 2000.
Girl, you
like,
tripping. Like, that is not gonna happen.
wrong, Brent. And she takes a bite of her pizza and like just stews while she's eating it.
So in the background, one of your other friends very surreptitiously picks out a roach out of his pocket. And he kind of like looks around. He doesn't see anybody, and he's like, whatever. And he lights it up.
She like stops mid-eat and just goes like rude, spitting out like some of her pizza and just shouts, "Rude! Who does that?"
It's lunch.
She spits out the rest of her pizza.
Seriously? It's just hot. What's wrong
Oh,
with you?
roach! Oh, right. Okay.
No, not like.
I literally thought it was like a bug.
So let's make it clear
Smoking
here.
a bug,
In
man.
fairness, I also went to bug.
Yeah, because I thought it was.
You have one that didn't. It's okay. The one or two. It's
So
fine.
there was a misunderstanding
Okay.
here. So no, yes, a blunt.
Okay.
A very small blunt.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it
with you now. I get it.
Don't laugh at us, everything else.
Amazing. No, it's amazing. You used to do this lunch, and I was like, is he heating up a bug to eat in front of everybody?
We go to school with like
We are square. We are so square. I was like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna use the word roach. I heard that's what you do.
Yeah. Nope. That's what the kids these days do, right?
Kids these days, I am not one of them.
Their
Okay.
DVDs and their roaches.
And their ghost game.
There goes game feels.
Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
So he lights up.
She just kind of like goes at her eye and then automatically just starts looking for Mrs. Hapke, just like keeping an eye out.
So as if on cue, because this woman has an extra sense for punishing teenagers. Miss Hapke steps out of the cafeteria and kind of like does like the silo like scan like burp, 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 burp. And are you gonna do anything?
I kind of like crumple up a piece of like from my notebook and like toss it at him and go.
Okay. So prepare. Thank you. So Brent, who is not the guy who's smoking,
Yeah.
goes, what?
If you move this.
What, are you still mad over the fact that you're gonna lose? What are you doing? I don't. And then Brent looks over and his eyes go really wide. He's like, the wheel is coming. Because everyone knows that this woman is a terror, right? And she's got her like, imagine, so when I imagine Mrs. Hapke, I imagine, what's her name from Harry Potter?
Emma Thompson?
Yeah, but what's her character's name?
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
all
big
pink.
Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pink.
Oh, yeah, it was like the big.
no,
no,
not
no.
Emma Thompson. The
No.
other one.
No, the
The
bad
evil
one.
one.
The evil
With
one.
okay,
With the,
yeah.
with the cats and the plates.
Yes,
and,
what is her
yeah.
Oh, chat, y'all know.
Chat knows this. I should know this.
She's so
Mrs. No, not Trelawney. The mean one.
The one with all the pink who was really like had a sweet voice.
Doris. Doris Umbridge.
Umbridge.
Who's Umbridge? Hyper Rabbit Power.
Can we get an affirmation for intern Caitlin for not burning the control room down while running the boards? Well, not yet. Hashtag neonet, hashtag intern hype, hashtag hash browns.
That's awesome. So Caitlin is our new intern. I haven't actually met her yet. Joe was sitting there just a second ago, and now I looked up, and there's Caitlin. So
As
it's
if on cue.
Whoosh! That's amazing.
Sorry.
So Caitlin, I'm gonna look right at you as Joe helps you figure out what to do, because that sound needs to be queued up. Yep, they're figuring it out. Oh, and this is perfect, because Caitlin, I'm gonna look you in the eyes. You are a quaint, yes, articulating, yes, salamander.
I roll a bit.
Excellent.
A quaint, articulating salamander, which is kind of like a newt.
Wow.
So maybe you hang out with witches. I don't know.
That's offensive.
Hey. Oh my god, Valley Girl witches. I'm gonna have a nightmare.
Oh my god, guys.
What have I done? Okay, so Mrs. Hapke is like half Umbridge and half like frumpy middle class unmarried woman who just never really got her career off the ground. So kind of a lot sadder and frumpier than Umbridge, but still Umbridge level of evil, right? Okay, So Hapki smells the pot in the air because the dude just took a big puff and let it go, and she turns her Cylon gaze in your direction, and she sees you, and she knows that you have been associated with those skater dudes, and we all know those skater dudes do that pot. So you're sitting around with them right now. You just happen to be the one in front. She starts walking towards you.
I kind of can't really do anything, but I kind of try to mouth the words, just like.
Well, you could do something.
Oh,
You
okay.
could run away. You could also try to do anything else with any of your moves. Maybe it's a character move, maybe it's a basic move, or you could continue to try to soft roleplay this out and get this dude to put this one out. But she definitely smells it now, and she knows it's coming from your guys' direction. you kids and your jazz cigarettes.
Wacky tobacco.
Wacky tobacco. Oh wow.
Don't smoke pot until you've passed your exams.
Like, what's my relationship with Smoker Dude?
He's your friend. You guys maybe
Devin.
dated once in middle school, Devin. But you're not really into each other right now. You just kind of hang out in the same friend group.
Yeah, just chill. Okay.
Raphael suggests you feed on her soul.
A little early for that, fifth reel. We don't want to escalate it so quickly.
Right out the gate.
With the side that she's not looking on, I try to signify with going, and then I pick up my pizza casually and just keep eating it, keeping Happy in the corner of my eye, preparing for this.
Oh boy. Okay. So, Hapki sees you make this sign,
Oh no.
and she just beelines like a magic missile, man, right at you.
Casting magic missile.
Into the darkness.
Magic missile.
What's your last name? She knows everyone's last names.
Luna Child, which it's in the known witch community, because her parents are occult leaders, it has a significance. So,
Okay, but to her it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
She just thinks you're probably one of those weird hippie
Hippie.
kids.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn hippies.
And she goes, Miss Luna Child, what are you doing? Is there something that you would like to tell me?
Yeah, this pizza's delicious, Mrs. Hapke.
I don't appreciate the sass. You want to try again?
No, really, the pizza's delicious, though. Did you have a piece today?
If you don't come clean right now, I'm gonna drag your butt to the office and I'm gonna call your parents.
But I took a shower today.
All right, come with me, lady. She's like having none of it.
Can I bring my pizza?
She snaps. And she points at you, which is just real nasty.
So that's
Now.
a no on the pizza?
Now,
But no, really, is that a no on the
do
pizza?
you want attention too? Because we can do that.
I'm really hungry. I'm just asking if I can bring the pizza to the office. Because I paid for it,
Well, you come on.
She kicks the skateboard and brings the pizza with her.
You probably also glare at Devin
Yeah.
on your way out. Okay.
When her back's turned, I'm just like,
So it's the middle of lunch, and she's now marching you through the cafeteria for everyone to see. She's got a student in trouble, and everyone knows what that is. And you hear a couple of like hisses and boos and ha-has, like, "Ooh, she got one." And that's, I don't know, how do you react to that? Are you like, "Hey," or are you like, "Oh"?
I think she's gonna be on the bright side because we're trying to stay away from that dark side. So I just hold up my pizza in like victory.
So you hear a couple of cheers from the other students, and Hapki like whips around and just glares at you even harder, and then keeps walking. So you guys will walk to the front office and enter her office, which is old. It has old blue carpeting, that like flat carpeting that is in almost all industrial places. And she's got like this faux wood desk that's like square, and there's just a bunch of paper everywhere, and it's junky. There's actually not a lot of personality in this room, but there's a lot of dust in the windows and like in the corners and stuff. And she says, "Have a seat." By the way, you guys see this. The student gets led through.
Oh.
Lilith very quietly laughs at the pizza antics.
Oh
yeah. Like very quietly though.
Breakfast Club with the pizza pose.
And he's like just silent in interest, just kind of like, oh, I know that person.
Yep, very funny. Okay.
I dust off the chair and I take a seat, crossing my legs, continue eating my pizza.
Do you think it's appropriate to make signs insinuating drug use on campus, Miss Luna Child?
I had a piece of hair on my lip.
I don't know what you think, but I was not born yesterday.
Under her breath, she's like, no, you weren't.
Man, you are cruising for a bruising is all I can really say here.
Isn't that illegal to hurt your students?
This is Strix saying.
Oh, okay.
This is Strix saying that. So she's
gonna
slaps
get
her hand
real,
on
y'all.
the desk and she stands up and she's like pink and she's like, I will not tolerate insolence from students like you.
Oh. Like me? Is it because I have red hair?
Look, you can be as funny as you want to be, Missy, and you can be that funny while you're in detention, all this week.
Ooh, all the week. Can I bring my pizza though?
2 weeks. We can keep doing this. We can keep doing it. It's up to you.
She silently eats her pizza.
In the future, I expect more decorum out of you and less behavior that is inappropriate for this school. Drugs are not okay at this school, and if I ever catch any of you or your friends doing anything like that, you are going to be suspended. Is that clear?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
That's better. And she totally doesn't get that that's like totally sarcastic. So she writes out on her little pad your detention slip and she hands it to you. She says, have a good day.
Wow, this just have so much power.
You gonna be trouble.
And you walk out of the room. So you have a little bit of lunchtime left. You could go back to lunch if you wanted to. But you are also like in the front office. And she's actually the only one in there right now. So there's phones and there's records and there's desks and there's all kinds of stuff. But I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying maybe you shouldn't.
Is she paying attention or just kind of like...
No, she's totally dismissed you. In fact, you see a piece of paper sticking out of one of the other desks that for some ungodly reason has the login information for admin rights for the school system for one of the other teachers. We're gonna say it's actually Mr. Jensen.
A yoink. Tuck that away.
All right. And weirdly, his password is also a number very close to. I'm trying to find the right word. The social security number. So they might have actually been dumb enough to use his social security number as his password.
Yes, this really happened at a high school that I know about.
Oh my god.
Not my high school.
Don't use your social security number as your password.
Don't do it ever. So now you have this piece of paper, and you're just gonna like stick it in your pocket.
This is perfect because it counts as a sympathetic token.
Ah, so you picked up a sympathetic token for Mr. Jensen.
And that is a string against Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
Bam.
I'm just gonna make a note.
The plot thickens.
Log in.
What are you gonna do with that information?
We'll decide later.
We know it's gonna log his IDs. Whatever you do, he gets blamed. Alright, so you're probably feeling pretty trapped at this point.
Yeah.
And you probably want to hightail it out of there.
Yeah. Just head back to my locker, prepare for the next class.
Cool. So the next class all three of you have is together. Oh boy! We didn't expect that because it's high school.
What a
So-
shocking twist.
What's a class that you would actually all three have together? We know it's not math. It's probably some class that everyone has to take, right?
Bio.
History or English
History.
or chemistry.
Do that.
Let's do social studies. So I'm pretty sure there's no AP Social Studies, but there is an AP US History.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't be in that class, I don't think.
No.
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 Okay. So
No,
Social
history's
Studies. So in this school, because there's so many kids, the kids that take the upper level, more challenging classes usually don't see the kids that take the normal or dumb level classes, as they call them, because they totally call them dumb level.
Yeah.
And so the AP kids and the non-AP kids are usually separated. But for social studies, there's just one social studies class. So everyone is mixed in together in ways that they typically aren't. So there's a lot of friction in this class. The smart kids find it way too easy, like it's frustrating that you have so much busy work that you have to do that doesn't actually teach you anything. And the kids who are used to normal classes just think that it's like another day at the mill and that, you know, class is pointless and school is pointless, and you guys definitely don't see eye to eye. Right? I'm just building off my own experiences here. So, is there anything you want to add to sort of the dynamics of how that class works?
Like socially?
Socially, maybe one of you has a vendetta against the teacher, maybe you sit next to each other.
Can the teacher be easily distracted? So we always ask about her dogs. just to
Yeah,
distract her
so you can
every
get the
time.
teacher on a tangent if you ask about her dogs.
Or the kangaroos. That I had a teacher who did that. She
Okay.
just loved horses or kangaroos. So
Or if nobody brings it up, they completely forget about homework and the tests.
And we're gonna say this is Mrs. Hernandez's class. Oh yeah, with the metal music. And Mrs. Hernandez is known for being sort of benevolent but clueless, and she wants everyone to get along and to make friends. So once a quarter, she makes everyone move desks.
oh
Jesus.
god, I remember this.
One of those.
Yeah.
You know that one. Today is that day. And guess what? Because it's a story, all three of you sit right next to each other.
Like in a
almost
row
like-
or like.
So you know how there's like rows? So there's two across, and then there's probably one sitting behind.
Okay.
So maybe like Meryl and Ash are sitting like right next to each other, and you are sitting behind Ash. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you you've just been assigned these seats. You're meeting these new people maybe, except for, oh, you guys talked at once. So let's see how that works out.
I'll just like slump in my seat like, ugh, every time. Ugh.
So,
Hey. Hey.
so pretty early on, Lilith will bring up dogs to distract the teachers. Kangaroos. Yes, since this is it's a well-known way to get her distracted.
Okay.
She calls them grasshoppers.
just very-
There's kangaroos. She calls them little grasshoppers.
Yeah, just very coyly.
It was based on a real teacher, by the way.
Strix fact. Strix made her school a desert and called it peace. Thank
Oh,
you,
that's
Corbin.
amazing.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so Mrs. Hernandez just goes with it off on this tangent about dogs and kangaroos, and this time she spent like a week in Australia, and now you can basically do what you want for the rest of the hour. So, what's going on with you guys?
So Lilith kind of leans forward a little, hand on chin, and looks at you and says, "That was a pretty bold move there in the lunchroom.
Well, he would have been suspended. He's an idiot.
What happened? I mean, to you.
2 weeks detention.
That kind of sucks.
Happens.
You don't care?
I mean, then this will matter in a couple years anyway.
Aren't your parents gonna care?
Probably.
No.
Kind of kicks the back of Ash's chair. Didn't you think it was cool?
So like, yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. Never liked a hap key. Just floating around all the time. What happened anyway? And they're just trying to give you a talk.
She said something about student conduct. I don't know. I was too busy paying attention to my pizza, but
So while you guys
Pizza
are
was
talking,
good. You
really
smell
was
that.
today.
Oh.
another student comes over and switches desks with someone who is sitting next to you, and it's Tristan. And he looks at you, and he looks at Lilith, and gives you kind of a weird look, And then he kind of like goes back to what he was doing, but he's like, this is an interesting dynamic. I'm just gonna watch from now. So he's sitting next to you on the other side of Ash.
And Lilith briefly flashes him a megawatt smile.
And he smiles back. Definitely.
Wait, so detention, remind me like exactly what I was saying. I never got detention, so I don't remember. You just went just like in the office or whatever.
I got it all the time.
Yeah.
I never got detention either.
Didn't you see Breakfast Club? It's totally exactly
No, I have
like
a very
that.
big gap in my childhood.
No, I think it's like right after school and you have to sit in a classroom and do your homework.
For us, it was the cafeteria.
Yeah.
It also depended on like the rules and stuff, because often they would also, if after you were a sophomore, the juniors and seniors had a study period, they would make you do like community service during your study period instead. But
it's always in
typically,
silence, right?
yeah, typically it's like right after school for an hour or two, and then you're no talking, no phone.
Okay,
no
so
music.
definitely like, there's like a
You
shutter.
literally, all you can do is like your homework and
How terrible.
whatever.
I mean, I guess detention would matter to some people, but I would have been fine doing my homework.
I
Yeah,
eventually
same.
just stopped showing up to detention.
There you go. I was like, so then Ash like obviously just shudders to think about. I was like, 2 weeks. That's
Like,
awful.
my attendance was so bad that they figured out that if by suspending me, they would be giving me what I wanted, so they gave me like in-school suspension.
Oh,
Nice.
I just did not care.
Sorry, Dyrus and I were playing Monsterhearts, which uses the apocalypse
I think it's
system.
the music.
Oh,
The music. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Joe can tell us what this music is.
Yeah, come on, Joe.
Or maybe the intern.
Caitlin.
Caitlin. It's like.
Are you
Night
listening, Caitlin?
They want to know what music is playing.
Dream Theater is very high school to me, for sure. This is guitar.
Is she gonna come over here?
Don't ever be
Oh,
an
no.
intern here, or
Okay.
always be an intern here.
Always an intern.
Always.
I just hope none of our interns die because we're gonna be haunted by interns. What was that?
I'm sending the intern out there.
Hi, intern. Caitlin, we just wanted to know what music was playing.
No,
It was Final Fantasy?
there you go.
Caitlin, get out there. Get on camera, Caitlin.
Yeah, come on, get on
Get
camera.
on camera, Caitlin.
Get on camera, Caitlin.
Caitlin, the salamander.
This is Caitlin. She's our new intern. She's awesome, and we hope that we don't scare her away or make her scream too much.
Because we got the streaming down.
But just enough that.
Feed our soul.
Itty bitty bit.
So, chat, Caitlin, chat, in case you haven't met yet. This is our lovely intern number 3. Is that correct?
I think
Yes.
Intern number 3. So if you don't want to call her Caitlin anyway. Intern number 3 is not acceptable.
Or it could be 2.5, you know.
Are you really a half? I feel like you're a whole.
Sometimes.
All right, thank you so much, Caitlin.
Thanks.
And thank you for telling us what the music was.
Hopefully this is.
Hopefully it's right. If it's not,
We
we'll
hope it's
find
Final
out. We're gonna
Fantasy.
Shazam it and see if you're wrong.
It'll hang it over your head forever.
Oh, look at all that hype for Caitlin.
Oh, the Sharkies.
God, I love that shark suit.
The intern challenge of death. Yes, Joe. I'm looking forward to it too. All right, so you guys are sitting and you're talking about detention, and the teacher is off in La La Land, so you really are up to your own devices here.
All Shudder's like, 2 weeks? Like, what are you gonna do trapped here? That's awful.
Homework, draw.
Really? Not go out
Daydream.
anywhere? Oh.
You surprised how fast detention goes when you're just staring up at the ceiling, imagining other things.
That sounds like
That
it would
helps.
take an eternity.
Doesn't help, does it?
Do you guys know each other? Like, do you know each other's names? Have you met?
Not officially, no.
Sort of, kind of, but yeah, not officially.
Like you're just kind of off-put by your brightening gaze.
Okay, so I'm Lilith, by the way.
I'm Meryl.
Nice to meet you, Meryl.
Mash, seen you around.
Hi, Ash.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so tragically cool.
This is the most awkward teenager. Awkward.
Just that awkward smiley.
Awkward. So Lilith trying desperately to unawkward everyone.
Oh, she's that one. Oh no.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Unawkward me.
Trying desperately.
The essence, you gotta dig deep, real deep.
Let's see. How can we be unawkward? I'm not usually an unawkwarder person. This is where roleplay comes in.
All right. Well, if you're
So
not.
how
gonna-
about you do
Okay.
it.
Yeah. You want it? You got it. Okay. So what was the book that you stole?
Pride and Prejudice.
So Tristan leans over to Lilith and he goes, "Hey Lil, do you still have that copy of Pride and Prejudice?"
You
And he
know,
kind of like looks at you.
I just immediately looked at and was like,
I think I haven't seen it in a while actually. I've been
Really?
kind of looking for it.
But that's like your favorite book.
I know, it's really not like me to misplace it.
Well, when was the last time you had it? Wait, are you sure it's not in your bag?
Yeah, I've totally checked there like 5 million times. I mean, you know how much I love that book.
I know.
I don't know. It's really
to myself now.
Yeah, I'm just like, I
she's
just
kind
start
of
drawing.
noticing, like, I mean,
I just
they're
start
sitting right
drawing
next to each
wolves.
other. She's noticing kind of the way the Meryl's gone all kind of weird, and trying to figure out, is this just like a normal weird for this person, or is this a particular weird for this person? Do we have anything like presumption?
What you got?
Like observation.
I'm looking. Sorry guys.
Well, Tristan's gonna
All right.
interject, and he's gonna say, "Well, I actually know where it is,
How do you know where it is?
because I saw who took it."
Somebody took it?
And he's gonna turn and he's gonna point dramatically. She took it.
What?
Bum bum bum. And we're out of time. Oh. So we are going to pause play for right now. We took some time getting our characters set up. We took some time setting up what we're doing with each other, but we're going to start with this conflict that Tristan has just started.
Bastard.
So hopefully you don't have the book on you right now, or you might get beat up.
I don't.
Oh, she does.
Oh!
I don't.
Oh no.
So for next week, we're going to be playing Monsterhearts. So I hope that you are looking forward to it as much as I am. I have a special surprise that I am bringing in for my guests next week. They are my famous scorpion cookies. They're the cookies that bite back. And so I'm gonna be making cookies for these guys. I'm actually gonna talk with Zach to see if maybe we can get a raffle going so that I can make cookies for you and send them to one lucky individual.
Yeah.
They're great. There's so much cayenne in them. But next week we'll be playing Monsterhearts again. I'll be making my scorpion cookies, and I can't wait. I think we're let me just check if I can squeeze in like 2 more seconds. Game feels okay. No, yes, I'm doing it. Haha.
There's always room for feels.
No one can stop my game feels. We're doing it. There it is. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna end our show with a few more game feels today. I want to thank you folks for joining us. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Up next is Death from Above, the game about mechs and death and mercenaries and stuff.
And blowing necks up.
And blowing them up. I'm gonna be
Kind of.
on that show along with Stephanie. I'm coming back as a recurring villain, though I'm not really that villainous. So stick around for Death from Above. And I'm going to read out a couple more game feels, and then we're gonna wrap up. So
Real scorpions.
Josephine says, "You are all warm, wonderful Wiccans. Love weekly affirmations tonight." Mondor says, "The Strix, sad that I have yet to see you flail around randomly, but happy you are all entertaining us." They actually had to move the mics out of my way
man.
because I flail so much. It's a true story. And then Mondor also says, "Left Shark will love you and all of your flaws always and forever." And he also says, "At the end of the day, you are the only one that counts. Your happiness comes first. Love thyself." That one's amazing. Thank you, Mondor. And then finally, from Joe, "It is raining here and I love it. I miss New York where it rained more." Game feels. All right, that is it, everybody. Good night, and we will see you next week. Bye.
What's it? A weekly affirmations, a positive feel-good show. The most positive thing on this channel called Hyper Rapid Power Go. It's pretty decent.
It's
Pretty decent.
Bye, guys.
What's it? A weekly